we will be live in 3, 2... We're live, I think. Let me see. Yeah, we're live. Haha. I had to actually move the Discord window out of the direction so that I can actually see that we are in fact live now. So, hello, Internet. I am now going to tweet that we are live so that you can see us being alive.
Tweet. Are you going to be alive with us, Kevin?
Twat.
Yes, I am alive.
Yeah, Kevin likes to be alive.
I like to be alive.
Yeah, and I got these bagpipes out here, so I think I'm going to play a theme song. But I don't ever remember what the theme song is, so I'm just going to play you a random jig.
All right.
It's a little shanty. Just love the fact that it chops in and out on our room.
Listening to our YouTube audio, and that sounds good.
I was making sure that it was capturing you guys on my end too. I didn't even think about that. I can see the audio blips as the bagpipes come in and out.
Haha, so there. That is apparently your YouTube exclusive, whatchamacallit, bagpipe tune, because I have not started the audio version yet. So now you actually have something worthwhile that's exclusive to the YouTube version. Isn't that crazy? You never thought I would do anything like that, would you? Usually it's the 5 seconds of us just talking about bullshit. So.
And for all of our Twitch viewers, if you want to hear those bagpipes uninterrupted and not occasional blips, you gotta go to youtube.com/spamomanospam.
Yeah. But anyways, without further ado, are you ready for our real theme song, which is the sound of beer opening?
Sure.
Alright, so ready everybody? On the count of whatever I count to. 3, 2, 1.
I don't have a can, so...
You bastard, you screwed it up.
I clinked my my Zelda pint with a die.
Okay.
It's been a while since I had, a stronger IPA.
Alright. I have a weaker IPA myself, actually. It's only 4%, which I was kind of surprised by. Anyways, you can now watch Crow streaming this game. So, and hello, Internet! That's what I was supposed to say, and then I was confused by saying Crow's a bastard because he messed up not having a can, or whatever. Anyways, my name is Spamman, as always, your host of Drink to the Past, the only podcast where E3 hype is now, unless there's another podcast that streams on Friday nights that I am unaware of, which there's probably a lot of them, actually. But ours is the coolest and the drunkest, which we will get to in just a moment. So subscribe and share and ring that bell and all that good stuff. We are here live every Friday night, and as well you can find us on the audio versions later on Podbean and Apple Podcasts. And David Wayne Nystrom in the chat as our good buddy here. We love Dave. So, hi Dave. He says, the internet says hello back, and that's the first time that's actually happened. Usually I'm like, hello, Internet, and the Internet just stands there, not saying shit.
Yeah,
I am joined by Crow-host and/or guests, which, of course...
And/or.
Yes, it's in the ubiquitous opening monologue. It's in my notes. It says and/or.
Excuse me, did you say Crow-host? Because I might take some offense to that.
My Crow-host?
Sorry, Chris, you've been replaced.
Oh,
damn it.
We didn't want you to find out this way, but I did.
Oh, you bastard.
Right, okay. Whatever's going on, I'm pretty sure we have to drink for it, so...
That's fair.
Oh, alright.
Oh no, I spilled. I have to drink.
Oh, you bastard. I'll drink to that.
Love these Chateau Romani.
This is a disaster of an opening, I gotta say.
Right?
I mean, when is it not?
When it's on a different podcast.
Yes.
You don't come to this podcast for fancy openings. You come to watch drunken idiots talk about video games and tabletop RPGs, except for not tabletops this week because there's going to be too much E3 hype. So anyways, our special guests tonight are Crow, as you may have already noticed, and I am going to make it so that his gameplay is a little bit bigger by cropping out. I should have done that earlier, but I didn't.
Probably.
So, all right. Now,
Why
I
did
will
you
make
not
it a
stay
little
on?
bit bigger. Well, there you go. Now.
Yeah, I get
it's-
like the nice OBS view in there, but
Yeah.
I'm digging this. I don't know what this thing is here. It's a little alien boy.
Yeah.
I don't know why subtitles aren't pop. Oh, there they are. Okay.
Kick its ass. Pretty sure that's the answer in every video game ever, especially Undertale. I'm actually learning in my Undertale playthrough that kick its ass is usually a bad idea. But that's
Oh my
neither
god,
here
you
nor
are?
Tends to be.
Yeah, because, like, Undertale makes you feel like a dick for killing everybody, turns out. So, anyways, and of course, we also have our good buddy Kevin O'Rourke back on the podcast for E3 Hype.
Yes, I'm here, and I'm drinking a nice cold Sebago, Maine Haze Forward Hazy IPA.
Nice. So I guess we got
Enjoying
3
this.
IPAs
Good.
here. That's pretty neat. Mine is Fast Pack IPA from Great Divide Brewing Company. Not sure if you can really see that all that much, but it's
Abraham Lincoln
it's
doing
okay.
on the front there.
I'm pretty sure that's
Oh, good. Giant
like
space
a rocky
centipede.
hiking trail or something. It's
Oh, it looked
Kinda-
like there was a glare. Okay,
kind of
that's not-
reflective, yeah.
Yeah, I saw Honest Abe there. I honestly saw him.
Honestly. Wow. All right, and because it's E3 week, I've got my E3 hats. So I've got actually 3. I don't think I've worn any of these on the podcast before. This is actually one of my more uncommon hats. This is a Colorado Rockies hat from their inaugural season, which you can tell because the C is slightly differently shaped on the inside of the R. And I think they did better that season than they are doing currently. I hope. Because they're not doing good this season. And I got my random-ass Shamrock Leprechaun hat. And I got this mysterious-ass thing, which I found one time. And I thought, I wonder what the hell this thing is. And I found that it is stretchy enough that I can put it on my head. But somebody later told me that it is a bookcase. Or like a book cover
The
thing.
slip covers for the books.
Yeah. Which
I never had those.
I never had anything like that either, so it's not something I ever would have thought of. So instead, I continued to use it as a hat.
I was always jealous of the kids that had like the real slip cover book covers, and we used to just wrap my textbooks with like paper bags from the supermarket.
Mm-hmm.
They worked.
I made
I draw
mine out of
them.
notebook paper and duct
Did
tape.
well.
Because you're supposed
Oh.
to cover your math book in high school to protect it or whatever. And I'm like, it's been beat to shit over the last 17 years since you replaced it. It's not really going to get less beat to shit if I wrap it in one of these or whatever. But, you know.
I love that you're wearing a book cover right now.
Yeah, I mean.
But it's a hat.
Who doesn't love wearing a book cover? The book cover can also be a hat. So
Who doesn't love wearing books?
there's your random ass Family Guy reference for the evening.
Yes.
Seth
yes.
MacFarlane,
Could
please
also
do not
be
sue
a
me.
hat.
Anyways,
I mean, Seth MacFarlane doesn't come up with anything original, so I think you're fine.
okay, that's fair.
Oh, I'm playing now.
Shots fired. But, all right, I've also got a mysterious E3 cocktail, which is so mysterious that I myself don't know what it's going to be. So I have here in my hand is, because it's hard to hold these 3 dice in one hand where I can show. I got 3 dice.
Oh, this is great.
I got 3 dice, so you can't see them because it's very cluttered on my desk right here. But I have a D4, which is going to choose randomly between one of these 4 non-alcoholic ingredients. I have a D6, which is going to choose between one of these 6 alcoholic ingredients, and then I have a D10, which 4 plus 6 equals 10. So this will make a 3rd ingredient, which may be alcoholic or non-alcoholic, and I have no idea what I'm going to drink tonight, but it's going to be
right.
hilarious because it's E3 week. So let's see, I got a 4, so my choices here are, they were this giant-ass Kentucky Fried Chicken bag of root beer, because apparently this is a thing. Cherry Coke Zero, some sort of juice thing, or 4 is Kool-Aid. So we got some damn Kool-Aid here.
Can we see the juice thing?
Yeah, it is Santa Cruz Organic Agua Fresca Cucumber Lime.
Oh, it looks like a vegetable oil bottle.
It does kind of.
Be careful.
Yeah, so anyways, got that. And let's see. 2 is the Cherry Coke Zero from the D10, and the D6 is 5. So let's see. Hold on. So we're going to get some Cherry Coke Zero in this Kool-Aid. Ah, shit. I spilled it all over my crotch.
Drink.
Hold on. I need to drink actual alcohol for that kind of drink. That's an okay beer. It is very light. Like I said, it's only 4%. That's not bad IPA. If you're drinking along at home, you can go ahead and drink. All right. And a 5 out of this is my cheap-ass gin.
Oh, nice.
So cheap-ass gin is going in this Kool-Aid and Cherry Coke Zero.
It's me.
This sounds awful. Fuck, why did I bring out the gin? I mean, I guess maybe it's better than the Kahlua. I'm not sure.
Yes, it is. Always.
So, got my Crystal
Palace. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
This
giant-ass bottle was like $8. So that is how cheap this gin is. I'm not a gin man. I have it so that I can make dumbass cocktails on the podcast. And here we are. All right, I've got this fancy ass goblet that my wife gave me that is going to be my drinking vessel for that.
Guys, I broke the game. I've been playing for how long? 15 minutes tops? 17 minutes?
9 minutes and 27 seconds, according to my clock.
Congrats.
There we go. Okay, I'm good. We're back.
Okay, Crow unfucked the game. Hooray! Everybody take a celebratory drink for Crow.
Yes.
Mostly this tastes like slightly watered down Kool-Aid somehow. Getting like a little bit of the alcohol flavor, but most of the sweetness of the other 2 ingredients kind of overpowers the actual gin flavor. So
less juniper.
Yeah.
More everything. Although I feel like if you have an $8 gin, it's sort of it's like vodka light.
Right. It's like slightly piney vodka.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's gin. I love Gordon's. If you want the cheap stuff, get Gordon's. It looks just like that bottle too. But it's
I'll check them out maybe.
It's just fine. I'll probably have a little bit throughout this show.
Dave is asking if the KFC bag comes with the KFC console. I don't know, but I feel like if you have a KFC console, you have to get a giant sack of root beer, don't you?
A sack of root beer?
Yes. This is a sack of root beer. See, it's like a to-go drinking sack. So that you could, like, it's like a half gallon, so you could, like, share it with your party or whatever.
It's like, you know how Canadian milk comes in bags? It's kind of like that, except there's, like, a big nozzle on top that you can just drink out of.
Yeah.
More like, but it's like a screw cap.
Yeah, like so. And then you can drink your root beer out of a half-gallon sack.
We could probably
KFC and
describe what this looks like for the audio-only listeners.
Yeah.
Let me up.
Here, let's just start a descriptive audio. I'll just like say every dumb thing I do as I'm doing it, and then Sean took a sip out of the sack. And then Sean took a drink out of the goblet. And then Sean took a sip out of the stein.
Since there's no audio on your guys' end, I don't think. Maybe there is. You could do a dramatic reading and also create the sound effects with your mouths for what's going on the screen, too.
That sounds like a hilarious episode for, like, just another podcast sometime. Just Chris and I, or like, Chris will play and one of you guys or somebody else comes on and we just, like, who's line it anyway? Just try to fucking match all the sound effects. Pew, pew, pew! Ka-zwow, ka-zwow. Boing. Boing. Boing.
Banjo-Kazooie fans, I was on the Gen Game cast eons ago, and I had pitched this idea, and it never came to fruition, but I still want to do it. an entire podcast where we've already done like the B-roll footage of just chatting with each other about nonsensical things, and dubbing over the entire episode as Banjo-Kazooie characters that just make like ridiculous noises, and it's just awful. And no one knows what it is, but it's there. It's like an hour podcast of us just like grunting at each other. Yeah, for an hour.
It's like the Star Wars special all over again.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get into what you're playing real quick.
Special.
Yeah. Any chance you get to mention the Star Wars special, right? You have to drink or something.
That's what okay, I figured it out. There we go. Okay.
It's a little bit of that aspartame flavor or whatever the hell it is in Coke Zero. I don't know what the fuck they... It is aspartame. I was right. Yeah. It's like, it tastes like it's got that Diet Coke kind of flavor. Which, so... But that's about all. So maybe it's cherry Kool-Aid. I guess it's red. I really didn't ask questions. I was just looking in the fridge for just junk to put in my cocktail, and I was like, jug of Kool-Aid, fuck yeah. So, anyways, real quick, I wanted to say what we were playing, because that's one of the segments of the podcast that I forget sometimes, and I've been playing the Final Fantasy VII Remake DLC, which is the reason I fucking bought a PS5, because I am a sellout. And, yeah, Crow is a smart guy, apparently. He bought it for Ratchet or something.
Yeah.
But I bought it for DLC.
This is the game that I have been looking forward to since the PS5 got announced. Because this game was co-developed with the PS5. Like, they used this game to showcase the 5's ability to insta-load stuff. Am I doing something wrong?
Insta-load.
Hold
that sounds
L2.
like a blast processing verbiage.
I just thought it froze, and I was like, oh, that's unusual.
Yeah. No,
it's one of those freeze tutorials, it looks like, where you're, like, stuck until you do what the tutorial says to do.
Yeah.
Other shot. Oh.
Yeah. Whoa, gravity's going crazy, huh? It's kind of neat looking.
It'd be like that sometimes.
But yeah,
also,
Final Fantasy VII Intergrade is I beat the Yuffie story missions, and they were both, like, really, really cool. It ends on a really awesome note, but it also ends on a way that, like, totally, like, showcases how much of a different direction, because, like, it was kind of ambiguous when a specific character from the first game showed up at the very end of Final Fantasy VII Remake, that they might be doing something different, and that character shows up again at the end of the Yuffie DLC. So it's like, if you've played the first one and you know all that canon, it's weird to look at this and be like, hold on, what the fuck is going on? But I also, like, don't know barely anybody that has a PS5 who's playing this DLC, so I can't, like, totally talk about it, without spoiling people or anything. So I'm, like, in this weird place. But if you like the original, if you like the base game of Final Fantasy VII Remake, then it's absolutely worth playing. And actually, what's surprisingly fun is the Fort Condor minigame, which is kind of like Clash Royale, but Final Fantasy VII. So
Cat hosted me. Thank you, Cat.
Pretty neat. Yeah. And I've also been playing a little bit more of Shantae, which is awesome because I got it on Game Boy Color because I'm a badass. And this game is fucking proof that Zelda 2 could have been good. Because it feels like a fucking side-scrolling Zelda game in a way that Zelda 2 never will.
I love Zelda 2.
Yeah, hold on.
But
I will say Shantae came after, so it's,
It did.
Yeah.
Standing on the shoulders of giants is all I want. I mean, I like Shantae, but standing on the shoulders of giants, that's all I want to say.
Right. But I mean, I don't know, it feels like more akin to a core Zelda experience than Zelda 2 does. But still in a side-scrolling faction.
Are you playing it on the Game Boy?
I am. Yeah, I brought out my original Game Boy Color because Limited Run did this, like, basically a reprint of
Yeah.
So you'll see the limited run here instead. Yeah, and it came with the little manual and all that, and it's so cool because I read through the manual and it was like, hey, can you find out these secrets that are totally alluding to the Game Boy Advance? And I was like, yes, I still have a Game Boy Advance, and I am gonna eventually I'm gonna plug it into there and check out the secret Game Boy Advance differences and stuff, because that was something I always thought was cool with the Oracle Zelda games.
Sir?
Can
I have to get the fuck off?
Oh, you talking to the guys in game?
Health now. He's in a big old shootout
with a ship.
The ship.
It'd be like that sometimes.
They don't think it be like it is, but it do.
Yeah.
That's what it do.
I love this strafing jump. I figured that out by accident just now, and I love it.
Nice.
You are a professional gamer.
Why did I ever think of that?
I've been waiting to say that for so long.
We have to drink. There was a pun.
I'm happy.
Very terrible pun.
Help provide. I liked it. How dare you?
That was the most awesome pun that has ever been uttered on this podcast.
Thank you.
Probably.
But also, fuck you. I've uttered plenty of puns.
That's true. Both of us have. I really don't know for sure. Like, I'd have to go through the backlogs of 105 other episodes and be like, okay, where are the puns here? Oh, David reminds me in the chat that actually today is the 20th birthday of the Game Boy Advance.
Yes, it is. Happy birthday, Game Boy Advance.
One more year until it can drink.
Yeah. Then we'll have to,
it can be on the show.
Yeah. I'll have it on the show. I'll have my Game Boy Advance on the show, and I'll make like Game Boy Advance flavored cocktails. I don't know what that means. It'll probably be awful, like it usually is.
What a wonderful surprise! I love this scene.
Nice. All right, Crow, what have you been playing other than Ratchet and Clank right now?
I was gonna say, like, can you guess what I'm playing? I've been playing a lot of Octopath on stream.
Sweet.
It's been very fun. We've been making some progress. I have 3 characters now.
Nice.
So slow but sure, we're making progress. This looks like it's bad. Neat. Sorry, fixated on.
Sorry, go ahead.
There's a lot happening here too.
Yeah.
Does it make me a bad person that I sometimes will confuse Octopath with Octodad?
That would be a little bit
very different games. Although I would like Octodad as a character in Octopath Traveler. I feel like he would add some tactile sensation to the combat.
I'm sure I'll find some way to work that joke in there somewhere.
All right. Well, I feel like we all have to drink real quick because Dave Nystrom in the chat is one-upping all of our puns. He says, what did 50 Cent do when he got hungry? 58! That was so bad that apparently Kevin just left. He just walked off the screen.
To that.
Oh, I'm going now. Oops. I got distracted.
Chris, what you been playing today? Or this week?
This week, I've still been up on my Dota 2 obsession. But I've also played quite a bit of World of Horror, which I think I talked about last year. World of Horror. And it's kind of like...
I broke it! I broke it!
Girl broke the game again.
The game is a little... The game's a little unpolished. a little unfinished, I might say.
You download that day one patch there?
My game!
What is happening here? This is great.
I've broken the game twice in 30 minutes.
Everything needs a day one patch these days because everything is sold broken.
I got it.
This is the moral of the story. So new game. Every time Crow discovers a new glitch, we have to drink.
Yeah, let me take a drink really quick. God.
Yeah.
You might have to pull a reset there. Hold on. World of Horror, which I've been playing. I played a little bit last year, but I played some more this year. It's kind of done in the style of those old, like 1-bit or 2-bit Macintosh games, where it's basically you have white, you have black art, and it's kind of done in the style of like almost a point-and-click adventure, except it has combat and it has permanent deaths, and you're basically a Japanese. Most of them are Japanese high schoolers. One of them's like a Japanese yakuza, but you're like trying to face down mysteries and stop an eldritch god from being summoned. And different things happen, and it's very much inspired by like Junji Ito and like Stephen King stories, because it's actually done by a Polish guy, I think. Polish developer.
Funky combo of things too.
Very funky combo of things, but it's actually pretty awesome. And
whoa.
And there's a lot of secrets, and there's a lot of interesting like horror scenarios you can find yourself in. So I've been having some fun with that. It does seem to update at an incredibly slow pace. So there's that to watch out for. But I think it's very much worth the play. Also a little bit more Pathfinder Kingmaker, which is, it's a decent CRPG, I would say.
Matter.
Cool.
Radar.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Kev, what you been playing this week? Anything good?
Yeah, I've been playing a few things. Just went down to New York and just came back this week and played. I tried to keep with the E3 theme of having 3 different ways to play Ocarina of Time. But I've been playing Ocarina of Time 1.1 with Skip, and we bounce around and play like a few games here in the house, and I like try to get the boys to play like some like old school games.
I want to take a picture.
So we threw on Banjo-Kazooie before and played that for a little bit, and then we played DDR.
Save that for later.
And it was such a great idea because it tuckers the kids out. It's a good workout. It's really fun, and I love DDR. Like I was quite the Dance Revolution master, and
back in action.
It was really nice. Like it was a really good workout, and it was a lot of fun.
Nice.
So I think we're gonna try to make that like a ritual and play that at least like I want to play it at least twice a week, but we'll see what if the kids get bored of it.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they don't.
That's kind of neat. Yeah, I was actually oddly looking through my Xbox 360 discs earlier today, and I noticed I had DDR3 or something, and I was like, that I haven't thought of DDR like just in general in like years. I have no idea where my dance pad is. It's still probably back at my parents' house, I bet. But I was actually looking for another rhythm game because I actually played a little bit of Rock Band earlier today.
Sweet. Oh, look at that one.
Yeah, this is actually my Guitar Hero 5 guitar, which has the cool like touchpad thingy. But Rock Band doesn't use it, but it's like, yeah, whatever. This was like my go-to guitar back in the day when I was all shredding. Oh yeah, Kev's got the
wireless guy for the 360.
Yeah. Those are the best ones.
I just like grabbed a ton of games from my parents' place.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have in a drawer, or not a drawer. I have like this giant tote filled to the brim with just like tons of like. I'm just gonna pop it open and just grab like whatever pops out at me right now.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah, but my
there we go. Like I have the boxes for a lot of 64 games.
Mm-hmm.
So like some of them are beat up, but like this is pretty. It's worn, it's shelf worn, but and like Paper Mario is pretty beat up, but
right.
But
that happens when you love your games, though, right? So.
Yeah,
I don't have the box, but I was actually playing. This is the first time I've actually played this AC/DC Rock Band. Track pack.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's like 16 songs or something that's all by AC/DC, and my parents gave me this like years ago, but it was like just after I was kind of really in a Rock Band phase, like Rock Band Guitar Hero phase, so I have never actually pulled it out until earlier today, because my kids found the Guitar Hero guitar in the closet, and they were like, hey, Dad, can we play this game? And I was like, hold on, I need to set up my fucking 360. We are doing this shit. And I played through a bunch of the songs on Expert, and some of them I like could get through on Expert pretty well, but my hand cramped so fucking bad. I was like, I haven't played that much Guitar Hero in years, and it's like my hand would cramp so much that I was like, I can see what buttons I need to press. My instincts are still there, but my hand cannot keep up anymore.
The body just cannot keep up.
It's not,
I felt that way with DDR today. It's not quite the
same as an electric bagpipe.
It holds a bitch.
It's a little bit different there.
It's rough. I mean, maybe if I play DDR a couple times a week now, I'll get back to like. I play them on heavy, like the hardest, and I play some like killer songs too, to the point where it was like, the notes didn't even like pop up on the screen, and I was like doing both.
Nice.
Just moving on.
All right. Well, shall we get into the news and booze? After a quick bagpipe break. This bagpipe break brought to you by me drinking a bunch of booze.
Oh, hi, Nefarious.
All right. Thank you for enjoying this bagpipe break. We now return you to your regularly scheduled drink.
But I just hold on.
Just cause. So now we'll get into the news and booze, which there's a handful of funny things and interesting things that came out this week. Capcom is being sued by a photographer who claims they used her photos without copyright in the Resident Evil series, among other games. I think Silent Hill was mentioned. The artist became aware of this after the Capcom. Misspeak. I got a drink. Yeah, after the Capcom had a data breach last year, there was, you remember that Giga leak that leaked like most of Resident Evil 8 and all that. And apparently like a lot of different things came out. This leaked files of the original photos used like as a base for some of the things. One of them is in fact even the iconic Resident Evil 4 box art. So this goes back that far, and some of these photos are used in the more recent Resident Evil games as well, apparently. But apparently some of these photos were used to create like the box art, and some of them were used to like just as references for environments and textures in the actual games and stuff. And some of these original photos in the data breach had the exact same file name as they did on the CD where they were made available by the artist originally, that like if you buy the art book it comes with a CD that has the photos on it or something, and it had them labeled on as identical file names. So it's looking like a really shady thing happened at Capcom, and it's hard to tell if it's actually shady or if it was just like a total fuck up of somebody, like, you know, because I guess this CD was published in like 1996 or something. So at that point, the internet was totally different. So it could have been pirated by somebody else, and then like, you know, some guy at Capcom just Google image searched something and grabbed whatever. It's possible. So but who knows? With as many images as there are, though, it looks kind of shady. What do you guys make of this?
So my question would be, did they actually use the photos, or did they just use the photos as reference material for modeling their own assets?
A little of both, because some of them are like modeled assets. Like I saw some of the side-by-side images. There's one that it's like a grandfather clock or something, and there's the original image, and the image in-game is actually textured and everything to work in whatever Resident Evil game that was. But then there's other things where, like, the Resident Evil 4 logo particularly has, like, that shattered glass kind of look on the number 4, and it's very clear that they took that same image and photoshopped a number 4 into it to make this, you know, like, at this point, iconic image.
Yeah. So, like, dang, if you're going to copyright anything, not the cover of the dang game, right?
So if It seems, and obviously I'm not a lawyer, but it seems like if they actually used the images, the copyright case seems pretty open and shut. Damn it, no one is pronouncing Capcom today.
Apparently.
Capcom.
So Namco.
Yeah, Namco Bandai.
Damn it, Namco.
Konami.
Bamco Nandai.
Capcom obviously has fucked up in a way that they never thought would come back to bite them in the ass, but now, but if they're using the image, I would be pretty surprised if the original artist, couldn't get a judgment out of this for reasons unrelated to money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this seems like a payout kind of thing, right? Pay the person.
Or, a settlement where they're like, we're going to pay you $500,000 to shut the hell up.
Yeah.
And get off our games.
They're looking for some several $1 million in damages, but I wouldn't be surprised if a settlement like that happens instead. Because, if you have this kind of case and Capcom says, we'll pay you, $50,000, I'd take it. I don't know how much the average photographer makes, but I don't imagine it's like a shit.
I think $50,000 is a little cheap.
Right.
But.
Right, but
resold just Resident Evil 4 alone. It's been recently resold too on other platforms.
Like how many copies did Resident Evil sell?
I don't know.
Resident Evil 4 sell?
Pretty good amount, I think.
Especially since Resident Evil 4 is the one that's been ported to most things. Isn't that Resident Evil 4, or is that a different Resident Evil?
Yeah, 4's made it around.
Yeah.
It's interesting too. Capcom has been. See, I said it right. Ha. They're no strangers to things like this, especially with Resident Evil, because it's called Biohazard in other regions. Because I think there was a band named Resident Evil or something.
Huh.
They were named Biohazard, but
they were named Biohazard. Yeah. So that's why it's Resident Evil in the U.S.
So. Yeah. If the original artist had a royalty of 1 cent for every copy of Resident Evil 4 sold, they would be owed $45,000. Which, that's a decent amount.
Yeah. I think the thing I was reading was they were looking for between $1,500 and $2,500 per photo or something. So that might be a lot more than that, too, obviously.
Could be a lot, yeah.
It's just for that one image for the cover of Resident Evil 4.
Yeah. Because I don't know exactly how many images are on there either, so. Yeah.
Capcom's good for it.
I'm sure they are. So, hopefully Capcom just does the right thing and pays them to shut the fuck up. But, it's kind of shitty that this kind of thing happens, but I'm it's hard to say when you don't really know the full story. It's did they fuck up? No. Was this intentional? I feel
somebody at Capcom fucked up.
Yeah.
Or did this intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
To say the entire company did it with intent is to assume that companies as a whole can have intent.
Right.
Philosophically, I'm not down with.
Mm-hmm. Well, we could talk philosophy forever, but instead, I think we'll get to the next piece of news and booze.
Indeed. Because the city is ripping apart.
Wow. That's impressive. I see you, poofing through portals. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Elden Ring got its first trailer in for fucking ever. I think it's actually literally the first trailer, too. Because, they announced this game, and they didn't really say anything about it. It's releasing January 21st, so that's kind of neat. Anybody excited about Elden Ring? You guys big into the people making Elden Ring? From Software games. Or
seems cool.
George Martin?
It's soft forms.
Yeah, what a funky combo. Again, funky combo.
Yeah. I feel like all of the... I would not have
thought that would have been a thing.
Yeah. I feel like all of the, hardcore Soulsborne kind of people are oh my god, this is, the greatest thing that has ever happened. The trailer gives me boners. And everybody else on the internet is just it looks like Dark Souls.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
I think the people who say the trailer's giving them boners are
on the
probably
right
really like Dark Souls.
Probably. Which I'm like, I guess, yeah, if you like Dark Souls, like it looks like a pretty cool Dark Souls, but I just don't know really what to say about it because it looks like Dark Souls. I don't know. I'm not like huge into Dark Souls like I've talked about before. I actually didn't talk about it on What You Playing, but I also played a little bit more Demon Souls this week. And now I've killed 3 bosses like a badass. So, you know, I've kind of got my toes dipped in the water there, so to speak. So it's it's not a bad game. It's pretty good. It does what it does very well. So, you know, but I'm like, I'm just not that into it that I'm just like, oh yeah, now every FromSoft game I need to buy, right? Which seems to be like the thing that most people who really like Dark Souls are kind of on. That's just like, oh, any FromSoft game ever, I need to buy that and consume it again and again and again. Which I don't know. I don't get that mentality for like almost any game. Like the only game I play really repetitively is Ocarina of Time. I can play that game for like forever. Kevin's got 3 of them in the background.
Yeah.
I got one.
We did the math. There's like 9 separate ways that we could play Ocarina of Time in this home.
Really?
Nice.
And,
I got one right here.
Oh yeah. See that game is worth a lot right now. That promo guy.
It is. I also had the Master Quest, which is one of those that you got in the background as well. But I think that's at my parents' house somewhere. I was looking for it at one point and I couldn't find it, and I'm like, where the hell is it? But yeah, so you can tell what year I got my GameCube, which was awesome because this is like.
I think Sean has the absolute rarest version of that too.
Which one is it? Sorry, I'm trying not to die here.
It's the GameCube one, but not the one that they gave for pre-ordering Wind Waker. It's the other one.
I got the pre-order guy.
Yeah, this is the one that you get for.
This is the Wind Waker guy.
This one was in a bundle with the GameCube.
I have that one as well.
How can I tell? Well, I mean, I know.
You look at the cover. Kevin, you have the one you got for pre-ordering Wind Waker. Sean has the other one.
Yes.
Yeah. Although
I know because I have
Kevin
the one you have, Kevin.
Kevin has this one too. He was just showing.
Yeah, I got both of these guys.
Yeah.
Wait, is this the other one then?
Yeah, this one, the collector edition, is the one Chris was talking about. That.
Oh yeah, because that
came in a bundle with the GameCube.
This collector's edition has Majora's Mask. I think Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Majora's Mask, and Ocarina.
Yeah, and a 20-minute
the Majora's
demo
Mask
of the
is
Wind
notoriously it crashes quite a bit.
There's also one.
I've heard that, but I've never had a problem with this version.
I had Majora's Mask crash on me in the middle of the 2013, at the end of the 2013 Zelda Dungeon Marathon. It crashed at Stone Tower.
Wow.
That's right.
Majora's Mask was also just a glitchier game, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like
I've had
with
the
my
64
N64 version,
a lot.
I would run into... That may have been because I was doing dumb shit like cartridge tilting, but...
well, that'll do it.
Yeah.
But I remember there were definitely some things with Majora's Mask where I would get stuck on something.
I remember reading a lot of like crooked cartridge glitches that you could do for Ocarina of Time and stuff back in the day, but I never actually like did any of them because I was like so scared I'd like totally fuck up Ocarina of Time forever and never be able to play it again.
I think you could fuck up your save that way. I don't think you'd fuck up the whole game.
Yeah, I don't know, but I was always like, nope, I'm too chicken shit. I'm not doing it. So, next piece of news and booze: Death Stranding is getting a director's cut, which is interesting. I loved Death Stranding.
Whoa!
And I'm not really sure what I would do with a director's cut. Like, I'm wondering what really the difference is. I'm like, I would play Death Stranding again, but I'm not sure I would buy a new version of it to play again. I'd buy like a sequel or something.
I want to interject really quick because we're flipping through dimensions, one at a time here. They're loading entire worlds here in, a matter of frames.
is a really cool sequence.
Like, this is showing just how powerful the PS5 is, because it's, like, not even flinching. Those are not explosive. So.
Why are they red? What the hell? Oh, they are explosive.
Surprise.
They were. I just wasn't hitting them hard enough.
Is that what she said?
Sure.
All right.
Why not?
So, anybody else really big into Death Stranding, or just me? And I'm the one that doesn't care much about it.
I've never played it.
Yeah, I own it, but I haven't played it yet.
I would recommend it if you really like.
An experience.
It is.
That's the best.
If you like open world exploration, and that's about it. The combat is okay, but the combat is weirdly introduced. So it's kind of one of those things that you kind of have to experience to really understand. But if you really like open world traversal, there are very few games better than Death Stranding for that specific element. Plus, Norman Reedus is
like a weird mix of games. Oh. Okay.
Can't beat that.
I would say sold, but no, I don't know.
A motherfucking chicken nugget has sold for $99,997 at auction because it's shaped like an Among Us guy.
That is probably a sentence that has never been spoken in the history of humanity before, unless you did a pre-read of this transcript to yourself before.
I don't think I read it out loud, but I did type it literally exactly like that, so I probably mentally read it as I was typing it.
I think that's the first time that's been said in human history.
Probably.
That particular sentence.
This is a first right here in human history on Drink to the Past, and you all are a part of it. So thank you for drinking along with us. I said a sentence that has never been before uttered in human history, and you missed it, Crow.
Oh.
Yeah. Now you're gonna have to get the rerun. A motherfucking chicken nugget sells for $99,997 at auction because it's shaped like an Among Us guy.
I'll drink to that.
Who the fuck spends $100,000 on a goddamn chicken nugget?
Rich people.
Yeah.
No sense.
Like, if I was a rich guy, I would buy much stupider shit than that. But it would be
Same.
You would still not as stupid somehow, right?
The chicken nugget's going to go bad. I don't know what
right?
The guy's
it's
thinking.
Like,
is he going to eat it?
How do you Are they gonna freeze it and then mail it in one of those freezer packs?
He's gonna fossilize it. He's gonna take an aluminum cast.
Is it like a McDonald's?
Yeah, it's like McDonald's or something. I think it said.
I think they'll last a long time. Yeah. Like a McDonald's burger will last years.
That's true.
You mean to tell me that you would not spend $100,000 on a beer bottle shaped chicken nugget?
No, because I could buy a lot of beer with $100,000.
You know what? That's fair.
And I could buy a lot of chicken and cut it into beer bottle shapes and fry it.
So then why didn't you cut a chicken nugget into an Among Us spaceman shape?
That's a good question. I should capitalize on this. Just make homemade chicken nuggets, shape them so that they look like weird shit and be like, "Oh my god, look what I found at Wendy's, guys."
Yeah.
Somebody pay me $100,000. Chris, you'll do it, right?
Just might.
You're stupid and influenceable. Is that true?
No.
Ah.
When I spend $100,000 on something, I have to be. You got to tickle my balls a little more than that.
Right.
God, I really should have saved that line for the end of the podcast. Anyway.
Chicken nugget and a soft handy.
Chicken nugget and a soft handy.
Probably should have saved that.
Then you're mostly paying for the handy. Chicken nugget's just a bonus. It's like the free mint on a pillow.
But instead, it's a free chicken nugget on the pillow.
How come they don't do that?
Chicken nugget on the pillow.
That sounds way tastier. I would much prefer a chicken nugget to a mint.
You know what?
But they left it there first thing in the morning, and they didn't know when you're going to get there, so there's a little grease stain in the shape of the chicken nugget because it's been sitting on the fabric for too long.
See, then you could sell the
You just set it on a paper towel
thing in a certain shape.
That's how you know you're in a classy joint.
Well, so you put it on a paper towel and you crank up the AC, and that way it's like also like bonus. We have good AC that can like keep chicken nuggets cold enough to not go bad.
Yeah, but that costs money. I can just beat up on the people here. Anyway.
The Cuphead show got a brief clip shown on Twitter. Is our next piece of news and booze. It is also announced that Wayne Brady will be playing King Dice.
You know what? Wayne Brady is gonna fucking nail King Dice.
Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, the internet seems to be generally okay with this. I like Wayne Brady in basically everything I've ever seen him in, which is about 97% Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Whose Line Is It Anyway,
yeah. And like 3% like
funny,
occasional like talk show appearances.
But I will say, in terms of like King Dice being a thing,
who said that? Oh.
In terms of King Dice's personality, Wayne Brady is kind of spot on in terms of getting his personality.
Nice. I was hoping one of you had played Cuphead, because I haven't yet, because they said that there was going to be a physical release for the Switch, and I was like holding out for it, and now it's been like so fucking long that I'm just like, I'm probably just going to like, you know, buy it when it goes on sale on Xbox or PlayStation or something. I don't know. Wherever it's available.
I played Cuphead. I love Cuphead. It's really great. I love those like shoot 'em up kind of games.
I never finished it.
I'm not really good at like bullet hell kind of things, but it just looks like unique enough, especially in the art style, and just like watching some of the animations and stuff as they work in gameplay is just absolutely fantastic. And I'm just like, I need to get into this game, but I was like holding out for a physical version, and now I'm like, it's been too long. I don't care. They're making a show, and I feel like I'll be left out if I don't play the game first. So
yeah, you could go digital and enjoy it. It's a fun time.
Yeah.
It's very hard, but it's fun.
Yeah, so I'll have to check that one out. The animation style, I don't know if anybody else watched they only showed like a brief clip, but it's like King Dice is hosting like some kind of a little like show with a live audience or something, and he picks some guy out of the live audience, and it's an interesting kind of combo of like that older like aesthetic that Cuphead the game is going for, but it also feels a little bit like a modern animated show in a way.
Which is I'm a little worried.
Yeah, because I feel like the animation style is really one of the things that really makes Cuphead what it is. So I was like it still looks really good. It looks really well done, but it doesn't look exactly like, you know, the way that I imagined it when they said a Cuphead show was coming. So I'm like, I wonder how like big fans of Cuphead would take that.
Yeah, just like the cost and time it took for the dev folks to make Cuphead was like enormous amount of effort.
True, but wasn't that like 4 guys or something? And Netflix is Netflix?
It was just 2.
Was it? Yeah. See, that's even helps prove my point. It's like Netflix has the money. They could hire more than 2 animators, I think.
That's true.
So I don't know. But it looks really quality, but it doesn't look exactly like I imagined it. So I'm like, I don't know. But again, I'm like not big into Cuphead because I never played it. So I'll get back to you eventually after playing the game and watching the Netflix series.
It's fun.
Looks kind of neat.
Very fun game.
All right. And the last piece of news and booze is also coming from Netflix because they excuse me while I choke on my words. Castlevania is coming back, sort of, because as we know, the current Castlevania is over. But they have confirmed they are working on a new series starring Richter Belmont set in the French Revolution.
Oh, yeah, and Richter is actually a character from the games, as opposed to... I don't think Trevor was in any of the Castlevanias, was he?
He was
Trevor Belmont's in Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse.
Yeah.
And if you play the very lovely Castlevania Judgment fighting game on the Wii, you could also play as Trevor Belmont. I love that game, and it's such cheese.
I guess I don't know my Castlevania, so I have to drink.
I don't really know much of my Castlevania either. Like, I've played a handful of them. I couldn't tell you which ones.
This buff guy right here.
Somewhere between... There you go. Oh, yeah. I've played some on the NES and Super Nintendo, and I couldn't tell you which ones they were. I think one of them, at least, was Simon's Quest, which is Castlevania 4, I think?
2.
So Simon's Quest
I need to school all of you
Super
so hard.
Castlevania 4 also has Simon Belmont, except Super Castlevania 4 is actually just awesome.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Maybe
great. That was the one, because I thought it was on Super Nintendo, so I think that is the one I was thinking of.
If I show you art of it, will that help?
Probably. I know I've played that one on my Super Nintendo Classic briefly. And I've played a handful of other ones, and I get the same problem that I get with Metroid, where it's like, I like the gameplay, I like what's going on, and then eventually I'm just, like, lost in the level design too much that I'm just, like, I put it down for a while, and then I forget to come back to it. Yeah.
Anyway,
your friend here.
And I'm done being attacked. There is a program that totally doesn't absolutely let us play games from like emulators like Dolphin and such together. So I say one of these days, we can do it just for a regular stream, it doesn't have to be for this podcast. 4 of us use it to play Castlevania Judgment.
I'd be down.
Where Kevin and I will promptly wreck the shit out of the 2 of you because we've played the game and you have not.
Or we could force you
Castlevania Judgment,
or we could try and find a Gauntlet Dark Legacy emulator and play that.
Ooh.
I don't know if that's an actual thing, but I really want it to be a thing.
That would be fun.
I think I have. That's the Xbox 360 one, isn't it?
It was a GameCube game.
It was like, it was GameCube, Xbox, and PlayStation 2.
Which game was it?
Castlevania Dark Legacy, or not Castlevania, Gauntlet Dark Legacy.
Yeah, hold on, let me
consult
my sources.
I
think I
Dark
have
Legacy.
I don't remember.
I just want to, really quick, Castlevania 1, the first game. Yeah. Castlevania 2, a sequel. Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, a prequel to the first game. Super Castlevania 4, a remake of the first. They go in many directions. And then after that, it's just open season of what you want for what a game does. It's like Dracula X as Richter, Bloodlines as John Morris, and Eric Lombardi. Portrait of Ruin. Yeah, and that's like a whole nother world of things. But
seeing it in my...
So, in the realm of the Castlevania show, it's essentially Castlevania 3, but like... very, like, Castlevania 3 doesn't have much of a story going on. It's an NES game.
Right.
It's pretty light. But you can play as Trevor Belmont, Grant Dynasty.
And then it also has Alucard, who I guess is Symphony of the Night.
Well, you can play as Alucard in Dracula 3, Castlevania 3.
Really?
He was in that, yeah.
Cool.
So there's 4 playable characters. But you only can have 2 at a time. You have Trevor and whatever friend you beat up and then bring along with you. Pretty great. It's a good game. It's tough as sin. It's very hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all right. Well, shall we get into our E3 discussion finally?
Yes.
All right. Well, let's do that. And yeah, let's just fucking get into it. I'm going to drink the rest of this booze here. You can drink along at home if you're drinking along at home, and then I will get back to my beer, because beer sounds like something I should have with my E3 discussion. So, we're going to have an interesting time here. The basic rules here are we all came up with some predictions. Now, we got kind of 5 safe predictions each, and we're going to do kind of a betting special. So, like we did a few years ago, if you remember, Crow is on here, and another guest. We got 5 safe predictions that we think are probably going to happen, and one kind of crazy go nuts, like pie in the sky, probably not going to happen, but if we if it does happen, you get more points. So the 5 safe predictions are worth 1 point each, and the pie in the sky crazy go nuts prediction is worth 5 points if you get it. So whoever has the most points after we come back sometime after E3, I'll announce the winner next week or whenever we have it. We won't have a podcast next week, by the way. But anyways, whenever we have the next podcast, I will announce which one of us has won, and that person is going to come up with some sort of a hilarious punishment for the other 3, and we are going to stream the results. Yes. So are we going to say what our punishments are now, or should we save that till the end?
No.
Or should we save it as a complete surprise just for whoever wins?
Yeah.
It's a complete surprise.
All right, so you have something to look forward to, and it's the devious minds of Crow, Kevin, Chris, or I are going to do something fun with that. So, does anybody specifically want to go first? I also have a little document here, so I will be recording all of our various predictions for posterity, as well as for making sure nobody cheats. Except for me, because I control the document, so I could cheat if I wanted to. But then you could go back and be like, listen to the podcast and like listen to it and be like, you cheated, you fuckhead. And I'd be like, yeah, I did. I have to drink.
Yeah, but why would you do that?
Because then I get to drink, duh!
You know what? That's fair. You say as you drink.
I do.
I like how you treat drinking as if it is this punishment on the show, but also it's the whole crux of the show.
It's either one where you know, it's like if you need to punish yourself, you take a drink, and if you need to celebrate something, you can take a celebratory drink. So it fills either role that you need it to.
I am getting an extreme sense of deja vu out of this conversation.
I think we've had this exact conversation before.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that if you go back like 52 episodes or so, we've had this conversation before.
I use the term celebratory drink a lot, so it could just be that. I don't know.
Maybe. But I think I've called you out on that very specific thing.
Maybe.
In the past.
I don't remember it, but I drink a lot on this show, so...
Yeah. It does sound familiar now that Chris mentions it.
Yummy. Now that I'm sitting on this beer a little more, it's fairly hop-forward, just kind of plain fruity flavor. It's a bit of a one-note beer. It's not awful, but it's like generic IPA kind of thing, so that's the Fast Pack IPA. But it's also a light, easy drinking beer. It's only 4%. I could have like 6 of these and I probably wouldn't even care. So, you know, it'd probably be good for that. So I'm going to rate that a 10 on a scale of 3 to 17. It's perfectly average. It's exactly what an IPA does, and no more and no less. So you guys, go ahead. We forgot to rate our beers, so I think we have to drink again. Or at least I'm going to drink again, because it's my podcast. I'll drink if I want to. You can leave your friends behind, because they don't drink, and if they don't drink, then they're no friends of mine.
I want a full parody of that song based on alcohol on my desk by next Friday.
Hold on, let me play it on the bagpipes for you real quick.
There you go. Riveting. Yeah. We got 3 clips of that.
There you go. I tried. You can catch that on the YouTube version or the audio versions later.
One of these days, you need to either find a way to do that one, or just get a new one that will hook up like via USB, so that way we can get it.
This one has a USB port, and it has some sort of computer connectivity. But I've only ever used it to like download the software to the actual electric bagpipe. I've never played around with it because I think there are programs that you can actually like play into the computer and it'll like track you can like record that way and things. So I will look into that because that would be cool.
You gotta do it, man.
Yeah. And anyways, let's go into our first prediction. Who wants to go first? Everybody fight to the death real quick to see who gets to go first. The last person alive gets to...
States. Are we doing one at a time roundtable style, or are we doing one person at a time, list off all 5?
I was thinking to kind of keep the conversation going a little bit more, we'd do like one at a time each. Like, this is how we did it a couple of years ago, and I think that's good enough because I don't like change.
Okay.
I'm carried.
That's fair.
Change is fine.
Bad.
I'm not.
Give me the Bills. Not the Buffalo Bills. Well, maybe the Buffalo Bills.
Hey, I met a Buffalo Bill one time.
All right.
I knew he was a Buffalo Bill because he told me so because somebody commented on his Super Bowl ring because he used to come into the McDonald's I worked at like every week. He would come in and he would get like 6 hot fudge sundaes. And I don't know if it was for just him or who... Like if he had his family, but apparently, I don't know. His family, I don't know. But apparently he retired and moved to Colorado and, just was casually in the drive-thru and being a Buffalo Bill that nobody had ever heard of because people in Denver don't follow the Bills. We follow the Broncos.
People in New York don't follow the Bills.
That's fair.
I was waiting for the punchline where, I met a Buffalo Bill.
No, that was the story. I met a literal Buffalo Bill. Yeah.
I met a Buffalo named Bill.
I don't remember his name. He was an okay guy. He liked his Sundays.
He liked his Sundays.
Yeah.
But the Bills have never won a Super Bowl.
They because I looked this up because they've never won, but I think they were at like 4 consecutive or something, and they lost all of them. So
they went to 4 in a row and lost all 4. Each one, I think, by a single score or something. Like it was.
Yeah.
It was
Which
upsetting.
is funny because I think that's like I was looking this up at the time because we were like, hey, the Bills were in the Super Bowl? Because I think that was before I gave a shit about football. I was like, whatever, I'll look it up. And I looked it up and it's like they have like the world record for the most consecutive Super Bowl appearances. And also I think they have like the first or second place record for the most Super Bowl losses as well. I think the Broncos have more Super Bowl losses than them or something.
We do. We've lost 5 times, and I think all of them except for one have been blowouts. Like all of our losses are losses like we should not have been there, and all of our wins have been closer than I would have liked.
We're a gaming podcast full of goddamn nerds. Why are we talking about football?
I mean, football is a game, technically.
Technically, I suppose.
Football is a sport.
Yeah. Sport ball.
As opposed to sports puck. Very distinct.
Very different. Curling. That's sports.
Never thought I would get a chance to say football is a sport on this podcast.
Making history all the time.
We're making a lot of history tonight.
I will drink to history.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with an announcement or a prediction because nobody else has said anything because we keep waffling and talking about football. I am predicting that in Nintendo's E3 Direct, they are going to announce a new Donkey Kong game because it's been a while since they had a Donkey Kong game. And I'm like, what the hell are they doing with that? I think it's about time. I think a Donkey Kong game could be coming along here. The last Donkey Kong release was even just a port of Tropical Freeze. So since Tropical Freeze came out, it's been like 5 years, I think. Was 2016 or maybe more than that. Maybe it was 2014.
The original release, you mean?
Yeah, on Wii U, I think.
On Wii U, yeah.
I was like,
I think that was
my dude.
Was it 2012? What is it that long ago?
Grab it.
Maybe it was a little bit later. Maybe it was 14. But it was a while ago.
The Wii U is old now.
Yeah. It's weird. It's like, it doesn't feel like my Switch. I don't have my Switch because it's over in the other
Switch is 4 years old.
Yeah, the Switch is 4 fucking years old. I'm like, how did that happen?
It's an old beast.
It's still on track to sell over 2 million 200 million units.
Mm-hmm.
I had to think about that. It's on track to sell over 200 million units in its lifetime.
Yeah.
Which is insane. But yeah, bold of you to assume that Nintendo still cares about Donkey Kong.
I don't know. I think it's
call your bluff, sir.
I don't know. I think Donkey Kong is one of those game series that, like, if you look at the sales data, like, Donkey Kong sells like fucking pancakes, right? It's, like, people talk about their big three often with Metroid, but if you look at the sales, Donkey Kong always, like, dwarfs Metroid.
Yeah, that's fair.
Metroid being one of the big three Nintendo games?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people talk about
maybe on the GameCube,
Metroid, Zelda, and and Mario as kind of the big three is a lot what I hear. But it depends on who you ask, because some people will obviously say that I think Pokemon really deserves a spot in there, because Pokemon dwarfs the sales Pokemon of all of these places except for Mario, basically. If you look at sales, it's pretty much like Mario, Pokemon, and Donkey Kong.
Game-wise, Mario outsells Pokemon, but in terms of just like the overall franchise, Pokemon is the highest grossing franchise ever.
Mm-hmm. So. Yes. I was going to say Fire Emblem is like, doing incredibly well sales too. It's, more
Fire
recent.
Emblem is more recent though, yeah, because Fire Emblem sales were decent in the NES era in Japan. They've always been okay in Japan, and then when they started bringing them west, they were doing not all that great. And so actually,
when they cut it, and then Awakening was like, boom.
Yeah, Awakening blew up, and which I thought was a great thing, because they thought that Awakening was going to be their last game, so they'd go out on a high note, and they made Fire Emblem Awakening is one of the best fucking JRPGs of all time. I fucking love that game. Tactics wise, I think it's one of the most fun Fire Emblem games to play, and I'm really glad that it kind of gave the series a little bit of a refresh. But even so, it's never really done insane numbers. The series as a whole hasn't done insane numbers until Fire Emblem Three Houses, which now that one's kind of blown up. But I feel like it's a little too soon to call Fire Emblem.
Three Houses has officially passed Fire Emblem Awakening in terms of total sales.
There you go. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
It also passed
3DS
Fire Emblem.
is a huge base of consoles out there, though. Mm-hmm. So I can see that being hard to trump.
So Fire Emblem Fates was the highest grossing because you put the two different Fates games together.
Yeah, three if you want to count the other one.
Yeah, sold 3 million copies to Awakening's 2.31, but Awakening was the highest selling singular game. Mm-hmm. But Three Houses passed it a little while ago and just recently passed Fates. They're now at 3.02 million. So
yeah, I feel like Metroid isn't really that high.
Mm-hmm.
Up on the list. I think there's more. I mean, there's also more Kirby games, but Kirby, I think does, but Smash Bros.
Yeah.
That they're over on Metroid now. Can you consider Wii Sports a franchise or a series?
I don't know, because I guess technically it has two games, right? That's
Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort.
Yeah, that's technically a series.
So that's one of the best-selling games.
But you also kind of have to take it in context because it was also one of them was a pack-in game.
It was a pack-in,
because you wouldn't say that Nintendo Land was one of the greats on Wii U. I mean, I would argue that maybe it is, because actually Nintendo Land was a ton of fun. But, I feel like most people would not take Nintendo Land as, one of the, big Wii U
pillars
games,
of gaming.
Yeah.
I mean, Wii Sports sells for $50 at GameStop. Nintendo Land sells for $1. So, just to give you some comparison.
I got it for free as a donation at my local library.
Since I have the floor, there's 3 Wii Sports games. There was a Wii Sports Club on Wii U, which was basically just a high-res Wii Sports, but it was still the third Wii Sports game. But yeah, they haven't done it on the Switch.
Interesting, because you could just play Wii Sports on your Wii U.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now you can
do it. My copy of Wii Sports is.
The Wii Sports Club utilizes the gamepad as well. So, for the sports golf, for example, the gamepad, you set it on the floor, and it serves as your, the ball and tee.
That's kind of
neat.
That's cool. I love that about the Wii U.
I love all the just weird stuff that they did with the Wii U gamepad, and it's a lot of them were like strange and gimmicky, but some of them really added just another layer of depth to the game or something. I especially loved it in Zelda games where you could just look down at your fucking map. It was awesome.
Yes, yeah.
So one of the things that was the most like criminal, like a lot of people I'll see and hear talk about how they love the Wii U and it was really underrated and all their favorite features. One thing that I never see talked about that is my favorite feature is that the Wii U, you could change, for a lot of games, you could change the screen so that the main game plays on your tablet. So what I would do a lot, when I lived with my parents, my room was in the basement, but on the floor above it was the living room with the couch. So I would take my tablet, go upstairs, lay on the couch, and flip it so that the main screen was the tablet, and just play my game handheld mode with the tablet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was just
basically
awesome
Switch, because I didn't do that all the time. But sometimes, like, if my wife wants to watch Netflix or whatever, I'll just like, all right, I'll just put it on the tablet, for some of those games.
Wii U.
Yeah.
The Wii U.
And then you don't have to stop gaming when you need to poop.
Yeah. I did do that. I did do that as well because I had a bathroom.
Not outhouse friendly.
No.
No,
the range wasn't
was very
great.
Short.
I remember like I tried that like once just to see if it would work. I went into my bathroom and I'm like holding and I'm like trying to see like how far out I have to hold it to still get reception. And like I would have to like sit and lean forward and it would be like incredibly uncomfortable and I don't know like if I could actually like poop very well that way.
No. You would poop and then you would sit there and play for a little bit and then like
just like poop. Okay, hold on. Wait for another one to brew. Ow! All right, come on.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Kevin, give us a prediction.
I want this might be like a deeper take, but I want a Knights of the Old Republic remake.
That would be great.
I want that coming out.
Is that in one of your safe predictions, or?
That's one of my safe ones. I feel like that might just show up.
Maybe. There's been rumblings I've been hearing about a new Star Wars game.
I think EA is like not the sole license folks anymore. Am I right in?
Yeah, that got revoked last year.
Their exclusivity deal basically has expired, so now other people can make Star Wars games, which is why we covered this a little while ago on the podcast, that they've even like more or less brought back LucasArts. It's it's called Lucasfilm Games or something. Yeah, they're that's going to be mostly doing the publishing on those games now instead of EA, and they can also outsource it to other games. I think EA still has some Star Wars games in the works. So
yes, they do.
Yeah,
and like support for like Battlefront 2 and such.
So I don't think EA will stop making them all the time, but
yeah. I don't know. I think it might be kind of safe. EA owns Obsidian, so I mean, throw in those guys.
We could see
or
that.
Not EA. Microsoft. Microsoft owns Obsidian.
I was just thinking, actually, not too long ago, I was talking to somebody about it, and because we were talking about Knights of the Old Republic, and I was like, I would love to play that game again, but last time I tried was when they did the port to mobile. And on a phone touchscreen, the interfaces, I just really hated the interface on mobile. It's not a game that translates. If you're playing on
a larger screen device, it's tolerable. But I played it on like I had a Samsung Galaxy, and I had a Bluetooth controller, and it was just fine.
With a controller, it might have been okay. Because my problem was really the interface, which I carry a controller regularly all the time to play Game Pass games and stuff on, so maybe that would be worth revisiting. But I would rather just have a new version. Put that shit on Switch. I'll buy the fuck out of it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's funny too because they've done that with Jedi Outcast 2 and Jedi Academy. And they made their way over to the Switch. I've not played those versions.
Yeah.
But
I played those versions, or I played the originals of those on, I think, original Xbox, maybe 360. I don't remember.
I have them on PC, and I have Jedi Outcast came out on the GameCube. It was very strange that it did. Great Quake. My favorite Quake games are those.
They were actually really good, like, multiplayer shooters.
Yeah, they are. And I just loved, like, throwing bots on and just, like, running around and, like, give everyone, like, superpowers and just, like,
right,
be a combat Jedi.
There's not enough, like, co-op shooters with bots anymore. Like, I actually can't
think the bots still around.
Smart in this, but what was that?
TF2 is still around. You still have March of the Machine, or Machine versus Man mode.
You know, when I upgraded my PC last, I downloaded Team Fortress 2, and then it just kind of sat there taking up space, and I never actually got around to playing it again. And I was like, okay, hold on, I'm going to delete this for some other game that I'm going to play. And then, you know, because Game Pass came around, and I started playing games for 5 minutes and deleting them because I'm just like, it's not clicking with me, okay. Which is it's a little bit of a gift and a curse with Game Pass, because it's like, if it's not great, then I'm like, is it really worth my time? And sometimes I'm just like, you know, I feel like I put in too much time in a game that I don't like that much, that I probably wouldn't have even tried if it wasn't on Game Pass. But that's kind of good, because I got to try it, and I probably wouldn't have if it wasn't on Game Pass, you know. So it's like, it's weird, like, double-edged sword.
You get like a tasting of games.
And sometimes
KOTOR's worth your time.
Yeah. Because I love that.
I was just playing it like a month ago. I just booted the game. I always have like a save going, and I just boot it back up, and I'm like, all right, cool, I'm on Nar Shaddaa, and I just like...
I was thinking of that when I was looking through my games, because I was thinking of, like, if I could find my old Morrowind disc. I'm sure I have, like, my old save from Morrowind on my Xbox. And I was like, dude, that would be so awesome to just, like, do a stream of me, like, loading up my old save for the first time in 10 years or something. I have no idea when the last time I played Morrowind on Xbox was, but it was a long time ago, and I would love to see that. But I couldn't find the Morrowind disc, so I'm like, I don't know where it is. I gotta track that down, or track down another disc, because Morrowind's one of my favorite games anyways. I would love to get back to that.
To put the timing into perspective, it has now been longer from Skyrim's release to now than it has been from Morrowind's release to Skyrim.
Yeah.
Yikes. Let that sink in. Crazy. So my safe bet is not Elder Scrolls 6 release date.
That was something I thought of. I was like, you know, because but so first when I was first making my predictions, I was like thinking of like Nintendo. And I was like, hold on, I got to break this up, put in an Xbox thing or a PlayStation thing, or something else.
That's not mix.
Yeah, so I tried to make a mix like that, but I was just like, Elder Scrolls 6 was one of the things that I thought about, and I was like, probably not.
I'd be there.
Maybe
but it's gonna be like
a cinematic trailer, and it's not gonna actually tell you shit.
2024, right. You know.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII remake it like.
Yeah.
Crow, what's your first prediction?
I think this is like teetering on the edge of safe or not. I think we're going to get not just some information, but a full-blown like proper reveal of the Breath of the Wild sequel, and at the very least a release window, if not a release date. That window being spring 2022. I'm going to even... I'm going to pocket that.
Okay, you're not going to be ballsy enough to actually give a specific date? A couple of years ago, Crow actually called the date for the Pokemon release, like, to the day.
I called the date of the remakes too, but I didn't go public with it because I wanted to, like, you know, dig up all of my evidence and have, like I did last year, just throw out all my facts, like, this is the date, this is why, read it and weep, fuckers. But then Nintendo got the jump on me this year. They're like, haha, not today, bitch. So, but my risky prediction is going to be the Breath of the Wild date, because I'm a saucy bitch.
Wow.
You know, I could see it.
Bastard for saying just Breath of the Wild 2. This is what I wrote down for one of my safe ones. Breath of the Wild 2. Like, come on. That's what I wrote. Am I a cheap bastard for saying that?
Better find another one.
I don't think so. Because I thought about, like... I thought about Breath of the Wild 2. I didn't predict it because I got a couple other ones in there because I knew somebody would say something about it. And yeah, I feel like it's a good bet though. I think we'll definitely see something. I would not be surprised at a release window, and I would not be surprised at a spring 22 release window.
We've gotten fuck all for the Zelda 35th anniversary, so they better give us something.
I got my fingers crossed for a holiday 2021. I'm not holding out much hope, but I got a tiny shred of hope.
I don't know about that.
You always gotta have
I'm currently sitting right now because I imagine there's going to be a collector's edition. I doubt it because they said it's going to be exclusively focused on software, but I'm holding out hope that maybe there's a Zelda edition console, but I'm sitting on about $1,500 for E3 just in case they just bombard me with stuff like, oh, fucking goddamn, here we go.
Breath of the Wild 2 Switch Pro or some shit.
I've been saving up.
March could happen.
I've been saving up for this. Yeah, that's my thought is March.
We have window. Skyward Sword HD is coming out in like a month. I think almost exactly a month from the date of this recording.
Yes. It is a month.
So I mean, it's another team that's working on that.
It's this month sometime, isn't it? It's June.
It's July 12th, I think.
No, July 16th.
Is it July?
I should have known, Ric Flair.
I thought it was June
July
something.
16th.
I thought it was coming up.
July. It's July.
Trust me. I work
he works at GameStop.
6 games out for another Zelda game. I guess that's possible.
That's
why I'm thinking March could be. March seems almost like too soon now.
I covered this in a.
I guess that's longer.
This is a callback to like a couple of years ago when I did more regular writing for Two Guys Playing Zelda. I did a prediction thing on what game would come out when Link's Awakening remake came out. I was close. I said Link to the Past. I was very close. But I nailed down Nintendo's like release habits for Zelda games. And this year, because they are doing the remaster of Skyward Sword, they're not going to do anything else, especially not this late in the year. So next year, it stands to reason, because it lines up 5 years from the last mainline game, there's going to be a new mainline game. And then if they're feeling really saucy, they'll have some other thing at the end of the year. But, I mean, Cadence of Hyrule was kind of a one-off. Or no, that was 22. Point being, Breath of the Wild 2 next year.
Yeah, I think it's... The reason I think it has a vague, slight, tiny sliver of a chance to come out this year is because last year was a weird fuck-up year. So I think Skyward Sword might have come out last year, and then Breath of the Wild 2, I think would have come out as their holiday game this year if there was... I would be, like, really confident in it being a holiday game if there was not a pandemic and Skyward Sword released last year.
I don't think so. Because
don't we have Pokemon this year too?
That was my other point.
So I just want to say, for like the past 5 to 10 minutes here, I feel like my prediction's been trampled on.
You're welcome.
Yay!
Chris, I was going to say Nintendo's going to completely dick us over and not do anything Zelda related at E3 this year.
I can also see that.
No Zelda.
Nintendo has been like. The way Nintendo has been treating Zelda for the 30th anniversary, you would go up and be like, excuse me, Mr. Nintendo, can we have something for Zelda? And they'd be like, I'm sorry, Zelda who? Oh, you mean Diet Princess Peach. No, shut up, Mario.
Yeah.
That's been our
Mario
year.
Kart.
That's been our year.
One, right?
Yeah, that's true. Like, just shut up and go play Mario Kart 8.
I want more Mario Kart. I didn't put that down, but that's a good one.
That could be
another Mario Kart, but I don't expect one yet.
I want a fucking double dash. Give me another double dash, damn it, you cowards. Give me a double dash and another Shadow Pokemon game. And I'll stop
dash.
Nintendo, I'll bargain. I'll give you a deal. You make another double dash and you make another Shadow Pokemon game, I will stop bitching at you for at least 3 years. That is 1 year for each game, plus a bonus. It's a buy two, get one free. On me shutting up.
I don't think you'll ever see another game like...
I won't. I'll never get another Shadow Pokemon.
It's...
I got Shadow Pokemon for Pokemon Go, which is cool and all, except they're completely useless. So, it's
they
not
are.
Cool.
It's like sad. Because, like, You could power them up to anything, and they'd still have shit CP.
The worst part is, so the whole thing about Shadow Pokemon, it was supposed to be like a give and take of they can't level up and they don't like you, but their Shadow powers made them stupid strong for a while. So you could afford, you could afford to use it. But yeah, their Shadow Pokemon and Go are garbage. I have never once gotten more than a 2-star Shadow Pokemon, and that was once. Every single Shadow Pokemon I've gotten except for one has been 1-star or mostly 0 stars. They have all been ass. So Pokemon Go, fuck you.
I got a 2-star.
You gave me a shiny Garchomp, so good for you. But also, fuck you. I'm done now. Chris, go.
Chris's first one was no Zelda, so Chris, you could go again because Kevin's already accidentally gone twice.
Yeah.
Sorry,
a lot of this is.
It's okay. Happening. It works out.
I feel like this is a pretty safe one. Someone official is going to comment on the surprising lack of bees at E3.
You. Get that out of my face. How dare you? I'm sorry, what? Sorry, Kevin was being a jerk.
It's okay if you didn't hear it. It's fine.
Okay, it's not going to happen anyway.
It might. I don't know. This is like one of those weird-ass things.
Nintendo got me riled up.
For poking the bear, Chris. I apologize. Poking the crow.
Nintendo got me riled up.
Heard what I said. He
no, Nintendo ruffled my feathers, and I genuinely didn't hear it. What'd you say?
I said at least one of the commentators at E3 is going to comment on the surprising lack of bees.
Surprising lack of bees?
At E3.
It's an interesting one.
There's going to be a surprising lack of bees at E3, and someone's going to comment on it.
That is an oddly specific.
It's only 1-star
prediction. Fuck you. Get out of my. I should just leave this call. Go away.
But then you'll never win the predictions.
There's a good chance of bees being mentioned because Minecraft has bees.
Damn! Don't you dare.
I think that might be a thing.
Could be.
Is that going to be an official prediction? Have you how many have you done 2 predictions? Yeah. Have you done predictions? How many predictions?
No. I'm just
right. Kevin's done 2. You and I have done 1. Chris has done 2.
Okay.
So yeah, I will drink 2 bees because I like drinking
bees.
Beer.
Shut up and drink.
I like how halfway through my pun, Kevin made a better pun.
I'm sorry. I'm being very aggressive all of a sudden. Nintendo ruffled my feathers.
Damn it, Nintendo. Okay, who's gonna go second? Let's see. I'll do my second one. Mother 3 will not be announced. Sorry to crush your hopes and dreams. It's not fucking coming.
Oh, come on.
I mean, that is so safe that's almost like a bingo free space.
That's like cheating.
I don't know. Somebody always predicts that it's coming.
I think
so. It's I feel like I have to predict that it's not coming.
I'm just mad that I didn't think of it.
As a spiteful dickhead of a person.
Let's do this. Because that is so stupidly cheap. If it happens, you automatically lose. It doesn't matter if you get all of the other ones right and your stupid, never gonna happen one right. If that happens, you insta-lose.
I will agree to this. I will drink on it.
The terms have been agreed upon. It is set in stone. The contract has been signed and filed away by the court.
If Mother 3 is announced in any capacity whatsoever, I lose automatically. Even if it's just like... Unless... Okay, I'm going to give this with the caveat. If they announce it for NES Online, but it's Japan only, then...
That's fair.
Then I still... I don't get a point, but I don't auto-lose.
That's fair. That's fair.
There will be no localization of Mother 3.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. There's the terms of the contract.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that sounds like the kind of thing that they would eventually do is just, release it on the fucking Virtual Console in Japan only just to piss off the Americans again.
Yeah, I mean
it wouldn't even inevitably it'll be in an where the American version of the Direct is like all like whatever kind of games and like one okay announcement, and then like it's gonna be one of those where the Japanese Direct that airs the same day is full of so much better games.
No, I got a better one. They will make it Europe exclusive because for whatever reason Nintendo's got some major hard-on with Europe right now.
Right? I mean, they've always kind of done that for like, especially for like special editions. Like all of the coolest special editions ever are in Europe.
Especially Zelda. I don't know why. I don't know why Europe is Zelda country.
Like they may, even like Hyrule Warriors, which you're like, okay, this is a spin-off. It probably won't have the coolest like but it's legit got one of the coolest special editions ever in Europe only, because it's like comes with a legit Zelda treasure box that when you open it, it goes da-na-na-na, and it comes with the fucking Link scarf and Linkle's pocket watch, and it's just like, what the fuck? Why can't we have this shit in America? Damn it.
Why would you say that? Okay, so my turn. On the topic of Minecraft and bees, well, not really bees, but I'm sure a bee will make an appearance. I'm going to say that Microsoft, the other M word, is going to, as part of their Xbox presentation, give us a new look at Minecraft 1.8, the Cliffs and Caves update part 2.
Oh, yeah.
Because
there's a lot of excitement about that in this home.
They just released 1.17, so 1.18 is the next logical step. And, I mean, they broke it off for a reason. I'm sure that they've got more to share, because they've been very silent on 1.18.
All right. Sounds like a potentialitude. I feel like I just heard something about Cliffs and Caves somewhere.
So Cliffs and Caves Part 1 came out yesterday.
Okay.
Somewhere there? Recently?
I think it came out on June 8th.
That, yes. I'm sorry, I've had a very long week.
You're fine. This is alright.
I've been living like a day ahead for the last week and a half. So like, I spent a good chunk of today thinking it was Saturday.
Oh, that's terrible.
That would have been awkward. Still aware. And then you were just like, wait, hold on. Did I miss the podcast yesterday?
Yeah, no. The podcast.
How much did I drink on the podcast? It's Saturday already.
Yeah, no, the podcast is the only thing that's been keeping me grounded.
I have Saturdays like that regularly.
Yesterday, I spent a good chunk of the day like preparing myself. I was getting ready to go to Kroger when I was leaving work to buy the ingredients for the Chateau Romani. And then, like, as I was getting in my car, I'm like, wait a minute. It's Thursday. I'm going home.
I do love that Crow shops at Kroger.
I work at Kroger, too.
Kroger.
I love that Crow works at Kroger.
Kroger. I get it.
This is so incredible.
Your joke is not lost on me, and I appreciate you.
Gosh, I was made to just be, like, terrible dad joke, man.
It's more fun that way. All right, so now right? Everybody is... Whoops. Okay. I'll have to. I accidentally wrote Crow's prediction under Chris's predictions. That would have been awkward.
There you go.
All right, so now everybody's had 2 predictions. Who wants to go next? Shall we go around the circle again, or fight to the death again, or should I just randomly go again or pick somebody? I have a D4.
Oh, roll the D4.
I'll start us off. Yeah. I will disrespect the die roll.
Oh, no.
Oh, Chris is disrespecting the dice.
No.
Actually, that's very out of character for me. Go ahead and roll that D4.
No. Save the D4 for the super predictions.
For our crazy go nuts?
Yeah. That will be the way that we decide it.
All right, cool.
The D4.
In true
atop the
drink
dice.
to the past form, the tabletop always comes last.
All right.
Except for the one time where the whole thing was us playing a game.
Yeah, every now and then I do table topic first just to change it up.
Well, you've never done it on any of my appearances.
Sorry, right. Apparently. Go ahead, Chris. Start saying stuff.
There is going to be at least one Nintendo crossover with another property with something horrible, akin to Mario with Rabbids.
Really wanted to play that
Rabbids.
Game.
It's good. I like it.
Yeah, I'm
like
not talking about the gameplay. I'm complaining about the Rabbids.
Oh, okay.
That's fair. That's a legitimate criticism. Fuck the Rabbids.
The only rabbit game I ever played was...
What is the wildest crossover that it could be?
Yeah.
Nintendo and Pornhub.
That's...
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking something like Wave Race 64 crosses over with Forza for some reason.
Yeah, some shit like that.
It's like a triathlon, except instead it's like you race to the dock and then you have to get on
Nintendo,
the fucking...
in cooperation with EA Games, or something like that, where it's like you immediately get that sinking feeling in your stomach.
See, that almost feels like that could be one of the, never gonna happen predictions, because EA, for whatever reason, has this major,
Mario Soccer
Empire
Cross
State...
FIFA.
Yeah.
They've got this, Empire State building-sized burr up their ass for Nintendo, for whatever reason.
So that's why mine is kind of generic. Because I feel like Nintendo crossing over with something horrible...
Right.
Is a lot more likely,
What if it's ridiculously awesome? Does that count?
This is a clever one.
No, if Nintendo crosses over with something cool like Cadence of Hyrule wouldn't count. Crypt of the Necrodancer is great. Good.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
I could dig that.
Cool. All right. Shall we go back up the roll in my inexplicable notes here and then go to Crow? What's your next prediction?
What about... Wait, hold on. I'm curious about a technicality just because I'm a fucking asshole and I like this kind of stuff. What if it is something that is, obviously, clearly, structurally bad and terrible, but so bad that it's good, like a Zelda X Persona Dancing crossover, where it looks like ass, it sounds like ass.
No,
but
that actually sounds pretty cool.
So specifically, the other side of the component has to be...
I'm gonna go dig out my old Xbox 360 DDR pad.
Unless you're like a Persona hater, I wouldn't consider Persona horrible, even if the end result is like Persona, Zelda,
but no,
Dance Revolution, which would sounds kind of god awful.
My god, no! That sounds like a combo of all things that we like in this house.
Also,
I've been playing Persona too, on and off.
Blizzard counts as horrible for this purpose.
I just okay, fair, but if Blizzard, I saw a mock-up years ago of Link in Overwatch, what he would look like. If they did that I would override. That would be good. It looks amazing, and that would get me back into Overwatch. Anything else, that's fine.
Even if you are interested in the game, it would still count under my prediction because of Blizzard's corporate practices. But I'll leave that. I've gone into detail about that way too many times.
Somehow this crossover
so good too.
Somehow this crossover discussion just got me thinking of a particular crossover style that would actually be really awesome. And now I want to see this. Is how they used to have Marvel versus Capcom, and they haven't had those in a while. And Capcom versus SNK and all that. I want because there's been a lot of discussion of what are they going to do with Smash Brothers next. I want to see fucking Smash Brothers versus Capcom. Smash Brothers versus SNK. That'd be fucking great.
I would love...
It's just Smash Bros could just add those characters, one or two characters in.
Smash Bros XDC.
But we'll obviously never get the range of characters that we have in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate again. So I think this would be an interesting way to kind of, keep the franchise going in a way that wouldn't get stale. Keep your a good group of Nintendo characters, and then have a shitload of guys from one developer.
It would probably have to just be the Nintendo versus Capcom. But I would like a Nintendo versus PlayStation All-Stars. That would be fun. Terrible. And never going to happen.
Yeah. I'm still a Fire Emblem Zelda.
That would be nice.
A Zelda Tactics kind of game.
Zelda
I could get behind that.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Zelda can do me no wrong.
Because characterization is one of the things that Fire Emblem I feel exceeds in beyond any other series almost, and it's something that Zelda is not great at. They don't have terrible characterization, but a lot of characters in Zelda are it's like what you see, what you get. It's pretty much right there.
So
there's some good, compelling characters that grow, but I mean, it's mostly there's a lot of action. Really, that's kind of the thing, is the action. That's what I like about Zelda, at least. But man, Groose is great.
I feel like we could do a whole nother podcast just on crossovers.
Yeah,
that's a good idea. I'm gonna put that on my thing for
crossover.
That can be the
future
next
topics. All right,
next time you bring. Next time Kevin and I have a crossover with Drink to the Past, we'll be talking about crossovers.
Yeah. Kevin Crowe versus Capcom.
Yeah. I would buy that instantly. Do I get a cameo just holding up my drink sign when you guys die? You guys fall off the stage, I pull up my drink sign.
So it would just be him and me
toasty,
and
toasty.
Our any streamers associated with us, or just any content creators in general. So you two would be fighters. All of the streamers that I work with, those that Kevin works
Skip.
with.
And I want Taylor Wells as a playable character.
We had Taylor on the podcast.
Knows some
he's a cool dude.
Too.
There needs to be would it be? I want it to be the Clash of Ninja style, teams of 2 or 3, where you can have special combo, ultimates, depending on who your team party exists as. It needs to have, if it's, any combination of the 3 of us has something to do with alcohol.
I mean, anything where I'm involved, that'll probably just be my whole moveset, is just, beating people with beer. Just smacking them with beer mugs, yeah.
Yeah.
Drunken Master Jackie Chan fighting.
Just right.
So this is
a great movie.
This is a delve into a little bit more of my personal life, a stupid thing that I don't often share, but that I love to do. So I spend a lot of time in Excel, Excel spreadsheets, just making lists and charts and graphs and shit. And I making up hypothetical things, make up a Smash character and then come up with their movesets and shit. So, I kind of want to now make this, hypothetical roster for this game with characters and their movesets and potential super combos.
If you create this as, a spreadsheet and send it to me, I will create them all as, homebrew D&D classes.
You're on.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
We'll have a small streamer, tabletop, it'll be great.
There we go.
I, just really quick on, this sounds kind of relevant to this. There's, a Magic the Gathering, set builder application.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been using that to build out characters from my D&D campaign that I stream on Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been, making a Magic set.
Check out Shabazzle on Twitch.
Yeah.
Hashtag shameless plug.
So,
yeah.
I don't know if you guys did it when you were younger. When I was younger, there was a web browser card creator that had all of the major card games formats programmed in, so you could make Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic, and some other cards. Import a photo and then just fill out the requisite text, and it would generate the cards for you.
Yeah, it's what this thing does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I used to do that a lot for Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
That's awesome.
I actually, I got so into it back in the day, I used to, design full-on card archetypes and then, print them out at my grandparents' house, so I would make my own decks of cards. And then I would,
Really cool.
I would use my brother as a guinea pig, and I would, give him an actual deck, and then I would duel him with my made-up decks just to see, not so much how good are they. Yes, are they balanced? Because I can, I showed one of my friends that, and she made a deck that was just beyond balanced and broken and just dominated me, but I tried to make them actual balanced, legit cards.
That's hard to do in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Konami, hire me. I can fix your game.
Hard to do in Magic now, too.
I mean, Konami's entire strategy has been basically it lacks the mechanics to kind of naturally mesh things with other things.
Yeah.
So any new mechanic they introduce is always super gimmicky.
Yes. Well,
yeah, or it could be
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Like way better than like previous mechanics. Because now like fusions seem to be kind of like we don't need to get too far into Yu-Gi-Oh here, but the power creep kind of goes up, and Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't really have much of like a. I wish Taylor could back me up here with this. There's no like true format division between Yu-Gi-Oh where like Magic the Gathering has like there's the standard pool of cards. You can play Commander, which is like kind of like open season, Vintage, Legacy.
You know,
there's other.
You got your archetypes
and format, stuff like that.
You got your archetypes, and that's about it. Well, I guess now they have standard duel and speed duel, but
yes, and speed duel has like the specific named cards. Although, like you could just, if you have Great White, you could play Great White, even though it doesn't say speed duel on it.
Right.
Similar to Magic, you could play like old reprints of that counterspell card that you had from 1994. You could play it.
You can play normal cards in speed duels, but you cannot do it vice versa.
I used to play all my cheesy ass art Drudge skeletons in standard back in M10. And people would be like, "The fuck is that?
What card is this?
Yes.
This looks disgusting."
Yeah, because the old Drudge skeleton art, I had like 4 or 5 different arts for them. And
that's cool.
Yeah, they were, because back then they actually did a lot of alternate art, even in the same set, I think.
And that's more of like a newer Renaissance kind of thing in Magic too, is like weird different art,
Mm-hmm.
Like they have a Judge promo for that. I'm sure they do.
Mm-hmm.
For that card, I don't know.
I'm not sure for Drudge Skeleton specifically. Maybe.
Because you have
I remember the
M10 playmat of that, right?
Yeah, I have a playmat of the M10 artwork. Which is really cool. I really love that artwork more than the others, but there's still something just classy about the fucking 90s artwork and how cheesy it is. The fucking skeleton just with a mace on a fucking skeleton horse. It's just, oh my god, it's awesome.
Okay, we should probably get back on.
Kevin, stop talking about predictions and start talking about predictions.
We've been on a tangent for 20 minutes.
I'm sorry, I just looked up Drudge Skeletons. It's such a BA art.
Yeah.
The white border here with the horse. This is great. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
So, one of you might have this one. I thought this was a niche one, but I'm like, no, wait a minute. Everybody likes this game. And also, I should probably caveat, a lot of my predictions have, like, secondary things. Like the whole Zelda, there's going to be something for Breath of the Wild 2, and also it's going to be in the spring. That second part is not, like, the requisite thing for the prediction. That's just I get brownie points if I'm right. Doesn't get actual points, but just haha, I told you so. This next one has the same. So, the main prediction, we're going to get some information for either from the Nintendo or from the Square Enix panels for Project Triangle Strategy. Ooh. And my little brownie points thing, we're going to get the name. We're going to get the actual name.
Okay.
I'm so hyped for that.
And the name is? No.
I don't fucking know.
That'd be pretty good if you did.
I think they're going to do the same thing that they did with Project Octopath Traveler, and they're just going to fucking leave it. They're just going to be like, you know what? Whatever. It's Triangle Strategy. It's fine.
But Octopath Traveler sounded really cool. Triangle Strategy is kind of meh as a name. But then again, they may still. I don't know. But no, bold of you, Kevin, to assume that I have a creative bone in my body and can come up with catchy, good game titles. I appreciate you for thinking higher of me than I actually am.
Well, just call the game Drudge Skeletons.
What if they call it Fire Emblem, The Legend of Zelda?
Emblem.
Then we'll get the crossover thing too,
Fire
right?
Traveler. Gosh.
I am actually really excited for that game. I only played part of the demo because I was just like, you know what, that's enough to sell me on it, and I don't want to spoil the next chapter of the game for myself. So I was like, because I feel like actually the demo was kind of like in a hefty spoiler-filled part of the game, and I was like, oh man, that would have been really cool to see this thing that happened like in the first cutscene you see in the demo, because it's like chapter 8 of the game or something. I'm a little sad I didn't see that in the actual game. So I was like, but
good to know.
The mechanics were actually really solid, and I'm not like a huge tactical RPG guy. I really like Fire Emblem, and that's about it. So it was still, it really tickled my fancy in that sort of tactical way. So I am very excited about that, and I could definitely see. I think that's a good call. I didn't really think about that one for some reason, even though I'm like super hyped for it. I'm like, now that you mention it, yeah, fuck yeah, I want that game. But yeah,
there's things too. Like I'm thinking right now of Deltarune, and I want more from that. Like I think of like the sampling of that game.
Forgot that existed.
I was
right. Like it kind of fell off.
I was gonna go for another cheap shot and say that Deltarune wouldn't be talked about at E3 at all.
I think that's a pretty good bet.
But I think like that's too safe.
Yeah.
You never know, though. You really never know. Because it could just pop up there.
Yeah.
It's just somehow they bring out Toby Fox.
We gotta have...
Yeah. Or it's like, hey, wait, we have one more thing. You know, that's like the Nintendo thing now. It's like, wait, we got one more thing for this indie showcase, and it's like, here's the Goose Game. Stuff like that. Like, I can see that happening.
We gotta
I would be excited. I'd pop for that.
Like, I could see that as being a far-fetched one of, they're going to talk about this, but we gotta have some class as far as they're like, oh, they're not gonna talk about, they're not gonna talk about a Death Stranding 2. They're not gonna talk about, games that that's obviously not going to happen.
My coaster got stuck to the bottom side of my beer.
So I see. You're a wizard, Harry.
And a thumping good one, I'd imagine.
Better than being a hairy wizard. Something.
With that, you have to go next.
Today's second beer of the week is Whitewater Mango and Ginger something. Gluten-free.
That sounds good.
It's in my... you can't really see any of this stuff on here.
This looks like a hard seltzer.
Yeah, it does.
Are you drinking a hard seltzer on this podcast?
I don't think so.
It looks like it.
You being a little
bit craft hard seltzer. It is. It came in a mixed pack of beer, so I expected it to be a beer. I guess it is a hard seltzer. So
they gotta throw one in for the little bitch babies.
Apparently, yeah.
I've had a hard seltzer once or twice.
I've had a few. Like they're all fine, but I'm just like, why wouldn't you just drink Mike's?
I like cider.
I also like cider.
I like cider too. There's a different taste of the hard seltzers versus like a Mike's.
Yeah, because Mike's has a sugar bomb. More flavor. It's the same flavor, but there's more of it in Mike's because it's not seltzer water. It's actual just fucking soda. I don't know. Yeah. I've never been into seltzer myself, so maybe it's probably just not my thing. I'm like, I've had several of them.
Together a little lemonade gin thing here too with Gordon's gin, and this is a nice sody pop here. That's what my great grandfather would say.
All right, well, while you're sucking down that sody pop, Kevin, why don't you go for another prediction because you've only got 2 on there.
All right, I have a fun one that I think. Oh boy! So again with do we go this is safe, I think, but I want to twist it and make it a little not safe. I know there's going to be a big Halo Infinite spotlight. Microsoft's got to do that. They got to be showing Halo Infinite. Mm-hmm. I think it will look 10 times better because it did not look so great when they showed this initially. Mm-hmm. Now it's going to look great, but we're going to get a video of the game, the gameplay session of it with just that terrible gameplay of someone just walking around being like, there's a bird. They follow the bird around and then it's like, just go through the level, man. We don't need to see how good the skybox looks in Halo Infinite. You know what I mean? Just shoot a thing.
Yeah.
I just want to see you shooting aliens. That's what Halo's all about.
Yeah. So my big Halo Infinite spotlight. I have a Halo Infinite prediction myself. I think we are going to get a release date, hard date. I think it's going to be.
I hope so too. Yeah, it was pushed, and they it seems like they kind of had to overhaul a few things.
Yeah, they have. Do you know why? Because they made the same mistake that a lot of devs have been doing. They're putting it on both gens instead of just making it a fucking next gen and making it as good as it could be. They're having to pander to the lowest common denominator. Because if they make...
Yeah.
It's kind of a double-edged sword, though, because like
you alienate like the
yeah,
me
it's
that has an Xbox One, and that's all I'm gonna.
Yeah,
have.
it's hard to.
So,
it's like it's on the one hand, it would be a good way to get people into your console space to buy the new next gen hardware, but at the same time, especially with the way that they're marketing Game Pass to just play on whatever thing you have, like
yes,
it's. I think they're in a weird spot there, specifically for this game. With some of those games, I agree with you.
And they have PC.
Yeah.
That's the other thing with Microsoft is that they have like several different platforms, and they have Game Pass, which is like your Netflix for games.
Here's my thing.
Hard.
Let's take Halo 5 for example.
Mm-hmm.
That was a near launch title for Xbox One, right? So I recall, I think. They didn't put that on 360. They didn't do a simul release.
Yeah.
They did it on Halo 4.
They couldn't fit it on there. They could barely fit Halo 4 on there.
Yeah, Halo 4 was a end of the life 360 game, but it wasn't on Xbox One. Halo 5 could have been on. They were still making 360 games, but they didn't. You know why? Because of the hardware difference. They didn't want to be limited by the old hardware. They recognized there's a time that you just got to cut the cord because you want people to get your new hardware. Give them a fucking reason to do it. With this, why would I buy an Xbox, Series X if there's nothing on there I can't play on my Xbox One?
But again, that's a thing that I don't think Microsoft cares where you play it.
But they said
they just want your money. Like
they want you to suck on that Game Pass teat.
Should do.
But
yeah, you have Game Pass, you have PC. Microsoft has a bevy of platforms.
Yeah.
Where I think over the next maybe like 5 or 6 years, you might see Xbox kind of fade, and you get that that pipe dream of having Game Pass, Xbox, Microsoft games on other platforms.
Maybe.
But I think if there's anyone that could do it, it's Microsoft. Amazon can't do that. I don't think Google could do it either. I think Microsoft's the one that could.
I have my other sticking point on this. Hardware limitations. The Xbox Series X and even the Xbox Series S, it's a lot, far inferior to the X in performance.
I feel like I'm being called out here.
Only slightly.
I'm the Series S man.
They are far beyond, just not even comparable, superior to the original Xbox. The original Xbox One is not good. It's not capable of playing a lot of current games. All of the issues that have been happening with Cyberpunk, which should be the case study for this, have been happening because of the original Xbox One.
To be fair, I think Cyberpunk's problems were more because the development was so fucked, and they didn't have it running well on anything launch day. They had it running uber shit on last gen, and they had it running okay on good hardware.
Yeah, it was Bethesda levels of broken on, next gen, but it was still playable. But when I was working at GameStop, every single person that returned Cyberpunk or bitched about Cyberpunk, when I asked them what console do you have, it was always the original Xbox One or the original PS4. Hardware that by this point is meant to be gone. They discontinued it for a reason. When they develop these games, they develop them with the Xbox One S in mind. They need to stop because all they're doing is holding them back. Let's look at Ratchet & Clank, the game that we were playing earlier. That is PS5 exclusive. It was developed with the PS5. It is a fucking masterpiece. Don't take the fact that I broke it twice in 30 minutes as any indicator. It is a gorgeous, fantastic, smooth-running, beautiful game. And I was having a ton of fun earlier. Can you say the same about any cross-gen game where it has been, just a flawless work of masterpiece that doesn't have any issues or doesn't look as gorgeous?
Yes, for the 1 hour that I've played of Miles Morales.
I was going to say, Miles Morales and not Ratchet.
Yeah, actually, Breath of the Wild is a good example of that. Breath of the Wild runs great on Switch. I actually haven't played it on Wii U, but I've heard even the people I know that played it on Wii U are it's fine.
So. Yes, but how much of a difference in power, horsepower, does the Wii U have versus the Switch? Because the Switch has to be able to do dock mode and handheld mode, and handheld mode is a little comparable to the Wii U because the Wii U is strictly a home console. so it had a higher ceiling. So that's a fair point. It's a very fair and valid point. But also, we're talking antiquated difference here. Like, the difference there is not as wide of a gap as it is right now.
Yeah, I think, like, when we make that comparison, it's dependent across platforms, and it's dependent across developers. I think if you examine a few of these with, like, a very, like, tight lens over them, you can pick out flaws in this argument and find examples where it's like, well, Twilight Princess was great on GameCube and the Wii. Like, they're both really great games, and they ran super well.
Yeah.
But I mean, you look at Twilight Princess. That game came out like 15 years ago now. At this point.
That said.
And also one of the things where the architecture is almost identical between the GameCube and the Wii.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
The power gap between generations is more exacerbated now than it ever was. And don't mistake my my issues here with thinking that Halo Infinite's going to be a bad game. It's not. I know it's going to be a fun game.
I hope it's going to go, but man, it could be a real stinker.
Yeah, we're going to shoot up aliens, we're going to have a good time.
I know, it looks more like real Halo than Halo 5, so...
It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game, but it could be a great game.
Yeah, it could be great, yeah.
Halo 5 wasn't bad, it just didn't feel like Halo.
It's true.
Yeah, there was different things. I'm past the multiplayer days of. It's like in my younger days, I could play multiplayer Halo for a long time, and now it's just like I've always cared deeply about the Halo campaigns, and I find those missions to be fun. So I want like the shoot shit in a tank level, or like the Halo Reach, we get to fly in a spaceship stuff. Like, that's cool.
That was pretty great.
Or like give me that sniper level, and like every Halo game could do that. Like, just do that. Copy it like every 4 years, and like I'm great.
In fairness,
I'm a different gamer than most folks.
Yeah, in not so much in their defense, I guess, but like as a rationalizing thing for the Halo 5, that came during a period of time when Microsoft was trying to be different than they are. They're trying to be something they weren't, with like, the design of the original Xbox One controllers and the, locking off discs from being able to play in other systems and things like that. Like, they were trying to be something they weren't.
They flipped that pretty quick.
Yeah, it blew up in their faces. It's just, with Halo 5, damage is done that can't be reversed, so they just have to reverse course with Halo Infinite.
I mean, I don't know. I don't see Halo 5 as like this big dismal failure. It's a Halo game. They tried a few different things.
It's like Sean said.
Did it grip me? Like probably not.
Yeah, just mechanically, I think it was far enough removed from what the other Halo games had done that it just felt different somehow. And it wasn't like a bad thing, but it was a different thing, and I didn't like it as well because of that, because I wanted, But again, I'm a weird guy because I'm like the one guy that thinks Halo 1 is the best even for gameplay. So
I was just going to say, what is your favorite Halo game?
My favorite Halo is Halo 1, like, to the end of time.
I like Halo 3. Yeah. Halo 3 is my
favorite. Halo 3. I like all the Halos. All of them are great games.
3 is, like, top for me.
I'm Halo 2. We discussed this.
We're all very different people.
You and I played Halo that one night after the podcast.
Yes.
Now we
late into the night. Let's. We got very far off topic.
Chris is like, we're talking about
Halo.
Chris, have you played Halo since that time in college that I brought over my Xbox to your house?
I don't believe I have. I got another Halo prediction for E3. I will not play Halo before, during, or at least for probably like a couple weeks after E3.
Can that be one of my predictions?
Chris won't play Halo. All right, everybody gets a free point for that.
Halo.
Yeah.
I'm going to go over to your house and I'm going to play Halo with you. Damn it.
Or give him your Xbox, and that could be next week's like background game. Chris playing Halo.
Right? Yeah. Actually, I'll like. I got all my discs still. I'll give you whichever Halo game you want on the 360.
Yeah.
I don't even have a 360, so I would have to
You can borrow my 360 too. While you're I think I've got
no excuse.
I think I've got like 3 copies of Halo 3 in here, anyways.
Oh, nice.
That's the PlayStation
I have
side.
2.
Hold on, just flip it over.
I only have 1. Yeah. I have the collector's edition though.
Please tell me you do have all the cases still.
I
somewhere.
don't.
Like
some of them might probably be at my parents' house, but when I was, back in college, me and my brothers bought a shitload of games, and now we have a lot of them still left in here. But I know there's even games missing from here. I have no idea exactly where they are. But as long as we're on the topic of Halo merch, before we go back to one more prediction, I have a goddamn Master Chief head.
All right.
Nice.
This was with the special collector's edition of Halo 3, if you might remember. It's got just enough space in there to hold the game cases for Halo 1, 2, and 3, which I should have thought of and put the game cases in there. But
you wear the helmet?
No, it's just like a stand thing that like you could put the games in here in the base and then like store them in the Master Chief head.
Damn. Oh hey.
I do like my Halo.
I don't have the steelbook for Halo 4. Ooh, Halo Wars.
I love Halo Wars. I was a pretty high-ranked player in Halo Wars for a hot minute. Anniversary.
Never actually tried Halo Wars.
I don't like these cases. What's the point? What does this do?
I don't know. I've always wondered, but I also feel obligated to keep the sleeve.
Yeah,
right. It's part of the packaging. You have to keep it, right?
This one does a pretty cool. It's got like the raised kind of thing going on, but like, what am I? I can't fit this in my DVD like game holder case thing, and like this guy, I can't do anything with it either. So it's like it's on the shelf.
Right. I have a shelf specifically for the fatty cases.
Mm-hmm. All right, Chris, what's your prediction?
Yeah, we'll shut up.
Let's see. Are we talking wild predictions finally?
No, you need 2 more safe predictions.
Okay. We're number 3 still.
You want an actually serious prediction here?
That'd be okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. It'll be funny either way, and it'll lead to discussion. So that's the point of the podcast. Discussions
let me see.
Beer. Or hard seltzery stuff. I forgot that this was not beer, and then I drank it, and I was like, "Yeah, it is not beer."
Oh, disappointment.
Here's one I don't think is so safe, but I kind of want to see. Another game in the Mana series will be announced at E3.
That's starting to push the envelope into risky, but I like it.
Yeah. My risky prediction is so crazy but I just have to say it. So.
Yeah, I mean they did do the like remasters of the Mana trilogy not that long ago.
Yeah, Secret of Mana got
like
remastered
2 years ago or something. Wasn't it?
The music in the remaster was actually very hit or miss. Like some of the music was like absolute garbage tier remastering. Like if you listen to the Color of the Summer Sky, it's just like completely overproduced. But then you listen to like some of the other music remasters; they are totally awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what went on with the remastering of that soundtrack, but it was very uneven in quality in terms of how well they did with it. It makes it one of the strangest kind of video game remastered soundtracks that I think I've heard.
Weird. Would not have expected that. But the only one I've played is what's the Super Nintendo one?
Secret of Mana.
Secret of Mana. Yeah, I've played that one like very briefly because it was on the Super Nintendo Classic, and I tried it out, and it was like it didn't quite hook me. And then I played a bunch of Link to the Past. And that's basically all that I've done with that. And I played a bunch of the Star Fox 1 and 2 on there. So because that was pretty cool to go back to. So question, because I seem to be making a habit of nitpicking your predictions in particular, Chris. I swear it's not a personal attack. He just hates you. Are you predicting that there's going to be an entirely new Mana game announced, or is it just they're going to talk about Mana games? Because
an entirely new Mana game.
Okay, I was gonna say there is the Legends of Mana remake coming on June 24th.
No, so, we're not talking about remakes. Remakes are remakes are like a back burner thing, and we already know that they do stuff with remakes. It's like, oh, they're gonna remake this, so they're gonna remake this because Square Enix wants their pockets lined.
I think your prediction holds water because they've now done remasters of Secret, Trials, and Legends of Mana, so that may be leading up to a new Mana game. The time would be right because people are thinking about it because it's coming out in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
now would be a good time to bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I even think about it is I'm like, the original Secret of Mana had just awesome music. And also was one of the victims of Nintendo's deal with Sony CD falling through.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. All right. Crow, you want to give us a prediction?
Sure. We're counting EA as part of E3, right? The EA presentation?
Yes.
Are they an officially listed E3, or are they doing a presentation at the same time or something? I haven't looked at the
EA Play that's like a month later.
I looked at the
Wait, when does it? Hold on. When is EA Play?
I looked at the E3 schedule and then I forgot most of it. So I don't know when EA's thing is.
Okay.
See, there's Ubisoft, Gearbox, Xbox, Square, Capcom, Nintendo, Bandai. I think the only EA thing is EA Play in July.
Yeah, it's in July. I'm looking to see because it's specifically relating to Madden.
There's no football more talk on this podcast. No more football.
Damn. That's unfortunate.
How about them Broncos?
I thought that they said that there was... I guess they're not going to be talking about it.
Yeah, there's EA Play, which is July 22nd. Shout out to E3recap.com, which is what I use to see all E3 news because I miss a lot of things.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I see what... Okay. There was speculation that it was going to be part of the Summer Games Fest presentation, but that has come and gone, so...
Right.
Never mind, I'm scrapping that one. So I guess it's my turn to take a safe prediction then while I try to figure out what my last one's going to be.
All right.
I think Square is going to give us more information about Final Fantasy 16.
Ooh. I actually also have that one, so yeah, I didn't say a date. I just think it's going to be like a gameplay trailer or something, but I think Final Fantasy 16 information will be coming, so that is one of my predictions as well.
And my saucy extra bit for brownie points, it's going to be next-gen exclusive. Because I'm a proponent of that. Not totally, there's totally no bias in that, I swear. And now I gotta figure out something for my last one.
I thought they said that it was going to be PS5 exclusive anyway. I don't...
Did they?
I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but I thought that was something... Because I was thinking about, like... Is Final Fantasy 16 going to be the thing that I need a PS5 for? And then eventually it ended up being fucking DLC for Final Fantasy 7 instead. So, it's like, whatever. It's still in a family. So, I really like that first trailer for Final Fantasy 16, though. So I'm pretty hyped for that.
Yeah, that's my safety bet.
All right.
I need to look at the E3
Not
schedule.
a bad one. Kevin, you want to be the fourth person to give us a fourth prediction?
Yes, I'll be 4 on the 4. And I'll use a 4 for this. I definitely planned that for sure.
All right. I have a D4.
Oh
shit.
Oh, there it goes. Doesn't count. Didn't hit the table.
Yeah, floor dice don't count. That's a rule.
Floor dice don't count. No.
That's down to floor dice.
No floor 4s.
Champ of floor dice.
My 4 thought here is that there will be no Metroid Prime 4 at E3. Ooh. No Metroid Prime 4.
Foreboding.
Yes. And I'm forewarning you. There's no Metroid Prime 4 at E3.
For shamed.
They call it E3 for a reason. This is not E4.
Right. We'll have to wait for next year when it turns 4.
Yes.
Or, something.
I think actually this is the year where the Metroid Prime 4 announcement has turned 4.
I think
2017
so. Yeah,
they announced that it was like a thing. They were like, we don't usually do this, but here it is.
Yeah.
I think we'll get it.
And then they rebooted it like 2 years ago or something.
Yeah. Yeah, because they did it the same year as the Breath of the Wild 2. Or no, did they do it the same as Breath of the Wild 2?
There's going to be nothing for it this year.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't know. I think we may get something later in the year, but definitely not for E3.
Not for E3.
Yeah. I think it's like, it would, based on like the fact that they completely rebooted it, I think it's like, it's going to be a while before we hear anything. And if they do show us anything, it's going to be meaningless. Like, within the next year or two, I think anything they show will be meaningless. It'll be like a story trailer, maybe.
I just Nintendo doesn't really do that.
Yeah, not all the time.
They're not in the business being like, here's the cinematic trailer, we'll see you in 3 years. You know, they're
I think
not about that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, tell that to Breath of the Wild 2.
Breath of the Wild 2 and Metroid Prime 4 are like the only examples in recent memory where it's
you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, actually, in recent years, they've really been even like making announcements real quick before things come. Yeah, it's like
I like that.
Yeah, like Paper Mario was only the Origami King was only it was like a month or two before it came out. They were just like, "Hey, Paper Mario's coming," and it was just like, "Wait, what?"
And here it is. I love that too because it's just a nice surprise.
Yeah. Age of Calamity was only like 3 or 4 months before too. It was surprisingly short hype cycle. And Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
So. Counter
we need more of that.
I think Smash Ultimate was the longest out of those 3, but it was still like less than a year between announcement and release.
Yeah, January to December.
Yeah.
So, counter proposal. I think because I still agree it's not going to happen at EA. I think it's going to happen this year. I think because Nintendo does consider Metroid to be an important franchise because they thought it was important.
Fans.
Oh, hold on. Hear me out, Metroid fans. I swear I'm on your side. I think that they believe that it is an important franchise because they thought it was important enough to their fans that they tell you in a direct that they are restarting development. They didn't have to dedicate that time slot. They could have done that to anything else. They could have talked about an upcoming Nindy game. But instead, they're like, hey, we want to be forthright with you. We're starting over with this game. They could have just thrown that out in a tweet, and they would have gotten the same response, more or less. But I think it's important. So I think later this...
I'm a Metroid fan.
To be fair, I didn't finish that game. I enjoyed it while I played it. I also had no clue what I was doing because my little sister got tired of playing it in the middle of it. She just gave me the controller. She's like, here, go nuts.
I actually like Other M. I think it plays more akin to what I think a 3D Metroid should be than the Prime games. The story is shit in a hat, but it's fucking fun. Okay, here, I'll redeem myself. I'm a real Metroid fan now, right?
People don't play games for good gameplay.
Right.
Anyway, I think we're going to get some information, like a reveal trailer or something, for Metroid Prime 4 later in the year. It is going to be in a general direct around like September-ish or something, and it is going to be I hope you guys enjoyed. Oh, by the way, one more thing. And then Metroid Prime. I think that's what I think they're going to give that primo slot to Metroid.
I could see that potentially.
Still no date.
Yeah, not right now, but yeah.
They're still not going to give us a date, but they're going to be like.
So is that your prediction for here?
No, that's I'm just
later.
Throwing that one out there.
This is Future Crow.
This is E3. This is Future Crow. So
this is
bookmark that for later.
Non E3 prediction.
Yeah. Bookmark this. If it happens, doing the following Friday, I will drop what I'm doing to come on the podcast so we can talk about how it's fucking right. But
we'll see you in October.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, no, that was purely an aside based on what I know about Nintendo and how they operate. Also, another aside, just because I want to throw this out here and I don't want to waste one of my predictions on it. What the fuck is Verizon at E3? What do they have to present?
E3 prediction, Verizon will ritually sacrifice Ajit Pai.
Verizon will steal the show with a human
ritually
sacrifice.
Ajit Pai, and then announce, give us money, where money will be thrown at the stage. Very clever to, create a scapegoat and then, sacrifice the scapegoat after he served his purpose.
So give us the money to throw back at them.
Should I write that down as your prediction, Chris?
No, don't write that down as my prediction.
That could be as far off. That could be as off, long shot one.
No, my long shot prediction is something very different.
All right. Well, first we each have to do one more prediction. So one more safe prediction, and then we're on to our crazy go nuts. So who wants to give the last safe prediction?
Okay, last safe prediction from me is Devolver Digital will not host an opposition event as they've been doing.
Do they even have a panel?
They do.
Devolver usually doesn't attend E3. However, they usually set up kind of a joke demo outside of E3. They did that for at least 2 years.
June 12th at 4:30 Eastern. Again, E3 recap. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my prediction is they're not gonna do even that for E3. They're not gonna.
Okay.
They're not gonna create a counter thing. They're gonna be too focused on doing something else as a publisher.
Being productive.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do have a direct scheduled for. They have a Devolver Digital Direct for June 12th, but that could be anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. About 2.
Okay. I think for the Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase, we're finally going to get something about either StarCraft or Elder Scrolls 6. Because they did say ES6 is going to come after StarCraft 2, or Starfield, whatever it was. Stargame. So we're going to get one of those two.
I was wondering how it was StarCraft. But
I think they're gonna stop kicking the can down the road now that they have the Microsoft backing. It was like a little bit of a risky take, but I stand by it.
It's Bethesda.
Is a StarCraft project announced?
Starfield.
Starfield, okay.
Yeah, there's so many stars out there. Star Wars.
Is Star Tropics?
Star Labs.
Star Tropics.
Starlink, Battle for Atlas. Wait, hold on. We've said a bunch of things. What is the Starfield, right?
It's Starfield.
Okay,
it's Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Starfy from Super Mario Galaxy.
Starhawk from the original Guardians of the Galaxy.
Starbuck from Battlestar Galactica.
Starbuck?
Starbuck.
Oh, I was thinking they were from Seattle.
Eastbox.
All right, so that's not a bad prediction. Yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, I just don't feel anything about Elder Scrolls 6. I don't know specifically why, but just because they're fucking milking the fucking Skyrim train still. Hold on, let me. As long as we're pulling out cases a bunch, I got my Xbox 360 version of fucking Skyrim. If I go up here, I got my Switch version too, but that'll take too much time. The point of the story is like they don't really need to put out Elder Scrolls 6 anytime soon. Although it would give, like, I don't know, because it's been in production long enough. I bet they've got contracts to make it for, like, every system. So I'm wondering if that will be, like, an Xbox exclusive now that Xbox is but it's like it's been in production long enough that I feel like they probably set something up and have done a lot of development time with the various other consoles that...
I think it would be a timed exclusive from Microsoft where they get it for the first year or 6 months or so. But I really think we're going to get Starfield this year.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they tease ES6, cool. But I don't think we're going to get anything substantial for it. I think they're going to lean more into Starfield. Because I recall, I think, them saying that Starfield comes first before ES6.
I feel like that sounds familiar. And also, I feel like they won't announce or they won't tease ES6 at all if they're not ready to show something substantial. Because they already gave us the reveal trailer, which was just a fucking camera going across a landscape, and then it said Elder Scrolls 6.
Logo.
That was it. You know.
Yeah,
so,
they did say too, like the roadmap was like Starfield first, then Elder Scrolls.
That sweeping pan shot lit the internet on fire for a few hours.
It fucking did.
So. Yeah.
So,
but no, I'm going Starfield probably.
Yeah. All right. So Kevin, do you want to do yours, or do you want to be the last prediction?
I'll be the last prediction.
All right. So my prediction, actually, my last safe prediction was one that I assumed somebody would have mentioned Super Smash Brothers by now, and I specifically wrote this under the assumption that somebody would, because my prediction is that a new Smash Brothers character, and they might reveal one, might reveal both. I think just one, but just one at least will be revealed, and it will be a character that nobody in this video predicted.
Oh my god!
So it won't be Rayman.
I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring for a Zelda character.
Chris? But no one made an official prediction here, right?
Yeah, nobody did. So,
well, let's.
I mean, we could discuss it briefly.
Why don't we all make a prediction for a character to see if you can beat us out?
Yeah, because that's my prediction, is that it's going to be somebody totally unexpected that nobody ever saw coming, because I feel like that's kind of been their thing. Like, very few people have been accurately predicting Smash characters.
Like Terry from Final Fight.
Let's do that that can be your brownie points thing. Like how a couple of my predictions have brownie point clauses. This can be your brownie point clause.
Let's all so as long as there's a Smash character reveal, I get a point?
Something dumb.
Yeah.
And if it's somebody nobody said, I get extra kudos.
You get brownie points.
I get to drink again.
Yes. You get to have a beer.
I'll drink to that.
I think Halo is a pretty cool guy. He kills aliens and doesn't afraid of anything. And
Mr. Halo?
Master Chief is going to be the character added to Smash Bros.
I would love Master Chief in Smash Bros.
I think
I don't see it coming, but I would be okay to be surprised. I think he would fit.
Yeah, I do want to say I feel like Nintendo and Microsoft have been on good enough terms recently that that's not completely impossible.
Mm-hmm.
As an aside, I've been playing through the Halo games with my friend Trevor, Snake's Box. He's been on this podcast once before, because he's never played Halo. And our little headcanon, because anytime we hop in the Warthog, I'm the driver, he's the gunner. If he's not shooting anything, he's doing squats in the back of the truck with the gun. So I am Master Chief and he is Master Beef, because he's got them hands for legs. So yeah, Master Beef for Smash. That's my point.
Nice. I dig it. I'm a Warthog gunner myself.
What about you, Sean? Who would you want to see in Smash? Or who do you think would get it?
I don't know. Like, the ones I keep coming back to, I feel that are somewhat likely are Master Chief and Doom Guy. But as much as I feel like they have a higher likelihood than a lot of characters, I also feel like they're the kind of out there characters that might just not make it in there because of, who owns the property, what the property is known for. But, Smash Brothers obviously does go places from time to time. We got Bayonetta in there. So,
we
somebody
got Banjo too.
Yeah, and you get people from all over the place. So it's like...
Snake.
As much as I want to say either one of them, I also am like... I don't know. Somehow, I have a gut feeling that I just can't predict it. Whatever it is an unpredictability. Because every time I've had, a gut feeling, all right, it's going to be this guy, it's going to be this guy, it's it's always wrong. And now my gut feeling is going towards, okay, I just can't predict it. That's the magic of Super Smash Brothers.
Cast your lot for Crash Bandicoot. I feel like that's a safe pick.
Yeah, Crash has been a rumor.
I feel like he's been a rumor for long enough that I've kind of written him off.
Yeah, but
because I feel like the people
Banjo.
that they're, I don't know, because I feel like a lot of people requested Banjo, but he wasn't really rumored. I feel like most people never believed he would come, and that is one of the things that makes him such a hype announcement.
Maybe.
I really want Waluigi in the game.
It's never gonna happen. If they make it, that would be the coolest move to make it. They would
coming this amiibo of him.
They would turn They would make the internet go nuclear if he was the final Smash fighter. I think Twitter's servers would legitimately shut down.
I think Goku would shut it down too.
Myself. I want Optimus Prime.
We need Optimus in Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I think
got the classic 80s version too.
I think Waluigi, Goku, and
Sub-Zero,
Gino.
Oh yeah, Gino. Gino, I don't think will ever be a thing.
No, I think so.
Yeah, especially since he came back as a Mii Fighter costume.
That was the point I was going to make for Doom Guy. I think the case to be made against Doom Guy and Gino and Skull Kid and any of the other Mii Fighter costumes is just that.
Doom Guy isn't a Mii Fighter costume. There are Doom Mii Fighter costumes. There's a Kaka Demon, I think.
Is there? That's odd.
I thought there was a Doom Guy.
I don't think there's an actual Doom Guy.
Mii Gunner.
And And the Mii Fighter costume of the Kakademo came out in the first Fighter's Pass, I think. With somebody else. And
Cuphead?
Yeah, I think it came out at the same time as the Cuphead Mii Fighter costume, and whichever character that was. I don't remember which. It might have been
Ryu.
Terry. Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Fighter.
Yeah, but yeah. So, and because that was a different Fighter's Pass, I think Doom Guy has a chance. But I don't think it's a huge, oh yeah, he's getting in chance. I think it's yeah, I can see it. Which is as far as I feel like I can take any prediction is yeah, I can see it, But I can't really say, oh yeah, I think somebody's getting in. For a long, long time, I kept thinking. My one that I was coming back to, my dream fucking, if Sakurai called me up and said, hey, pick the last Smash character, I'd be like, you put in Travis Touchdown, man. That'd be fucking awesome.
Pretty cool.
But, he got the Mii Fighter treatment too, so it's
There was not a Mii Gunner costume for Doom Guy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So Doom Guy, I think, is a potentiality. Master Chief is a potentiality, but I don't think it's going to be either of them, because I think it's going to be somebody nobody in this podcast predicted.
Like the Piranha Plant swerve.
Right?
No, but, well,
It'll be John Leguizamo as Luigi in the Super Mario Brothers movie.
I will pay for that DLC.
I want Johnny. Give me Johnny.
Give it to us, Nintendo, you fucking cowards.
Do it.
Joe from Joe and Mac. Or Chuck Rock.
Let's just get a whole...
Joe specifically from Joe and Mac.
Only Joe.
Not just Joe and Mac.
Not Joe and Mac
just
together.
Alternate
just
skins.
Joe?
Oh, you can have
just
Mac
Joe.
as an alternate, yeah. Mac could be an alternate.
Okay.
And maybe do Congo from Congo's Caper. That'd actually be a pretty good idea. Let's get Joe and Mac in there.
Give us Nick Frost.
Or Mike Jones.
Caveman Ninjas from Caveman Ninjas. Which
Oh
is
my
just
gosh.
Joe and Mac, but different.
Yeah. It's Joe and Mac has a weird naming thing. It's very odd. Like Joe and Mac 3 in the PAL regions is just Joe and Mac 2. But they called Congo's Caper Joe and Mac 2. I don't know why I know so much about this. I love Joe and Mac. It's so great. We might as well have the Gradius Starship as like a playable character in Smash Bros. At this point. I think that'd be great. I want to play Gradius.
I love those kind of just wacky, like, what the fuck characters, so I would totally be like that, or like the Galaga
I like the Duck
ship.
Hunt dog.
I don't like playing as the Duck Hunt dog, and I just really have, like, bad memories of him as a kid. He is a fucking dick. So...
He's like Muttley from, is it, like Dick Dastardly's dog? Does anybody know what I'm talking about here? Because I bring up Dick Dastardly, like, pretty frequently, and nobody seems to know who he is.
Got me.
From he's an old cartoon character from Wacky Races.
He was
like
that,
a Hanna-Barbera
he was that guy
cartoon.
who like would always stop to cheat in wacky races, right? Even
Yes,
though he
yeah,
could win the race
Drag-
legitimately if he never cheated. Because his
Yeah,
car was
exactly.
actually
Yeah, like
really
if he was just a
fucking
normal
strong.
like racer, he'd win. But he had a dog named Muttley, which makes me think of the Duck Hunt dog, because he'd get up and Dick Dastardly would get foiled or whatever, and Muttley would he'd be
He
laughing.
just had
his
this
little
really
dog.
breathy laugh. That's what I remember about that
Yes.
show.
Yeah, that was Muttley. So maybe I don't know.
Just
Dick
give us a
Dastardly for
sentient-
Smash
Just give us a sentient taco.
or
Sounds
Taco Cat.
delicious.
I saw your eyes light up a little bit there, Sean, when I
Love
said that.
tacos. Tacos
By the
are
way-
wonderful.
Just real quick loop back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Because you mentioned Gradius. Kevin, did you know that there is a Gradius line of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards?
Yes, I do.
They...
I own the Gradius card. I think about that with Yu-Gi-Oh! That's Konami.
Mhm.
I suddenly get
It's
the
weird
reference.
too. It creates option tokens.
I remember the Gradius card, but for some reason I never connected the dots until just this moment.
Yeah. There's another one
It
for
makes
future...
options.
Gives you a future crossover topic. We could talk about it more in the crossover
Yeah.
podcast.
Look out
Coming
for that
to you
coming
soon.
Smash
eventually.
versus Gradius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Capcom vs. Gradius, there you
That'd
go.
be almost
John.
as cool as if, like, Godzilla crossed over with Magic. Oh, wait.
Godzilla for Smash.
Godzilla for Smash would be fucking hype. I fucking love Godzilla. I don't understand how it would work, but it would be great.
He'd be
Give
too
me like
big.
Gandalf and Smash.
I don't know. They said
Do that
Ridley would be too
crossover.
big.
Yeah, I know. That was my
So,
point.
come on, man. You can put Godzilla in.
Baby Godzilla.
Baby
Baby Godzilla in Smash? I am so fucking there. I want it. Oh my god. That'd be
That
so
would be great
terrible.
if they were just like, all right, we're going to visit a popular franchise. We're going to visit the Godzilla franchise. And it's like, we thought Godzilla would be too big, so we put Baby Mothra in. And it's like, what the Mothra?
It just like is the like
I'd be cool
worm
with it.
form, and then it like fucking like is Final
It's
Smash
Final
like evolves
Smash
it
is
into actual
Mothra.
Mothra.
For like 3 seconds.
I just want the baby Godzilla, and his Final Smash is just like the kid from Final Wars like stands up in front of him and says, "No, don't shoot him," and and he's just invincible for like 30 seconds. You can't beat him because there's a kid standing there.
It would just be like one of those counters where if you hit the kid, then you get blasted or something. like with Peaches.
Right,
something.
with fucking
Yeah.
Toad.
Yeah.
This is the weirdest counter ever. Toad, be a human shield.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
how inhumane.
odd.
Also, you just keep a fucking toad in your
Well,
pockets?
wasn't there one of the Smash games where like Toad was the counter, and if you hit him, he like vomits back or something? Something weird.
It's weird. It's like spores from like Toad's head and they hit you. That's what I always thought it was.
I always thought he was throwing up.
It was just like burping at you or something. He's like burping your move back to you. It's just this weird melee counter. I don't know.
All right, Kevin, do you want to do the last safe prediction?
The last safe prediction. Fable. We will get more Fable. Will we get a date? I don't think so. I think we'll get a soft date, maybe some gameplay, but Fable's gonna be there. Give me more Fable. I really just wrote "Give me more Fable."
All right. I'd be okay with that. I'm not 100% sure if I'm on board with the new Fable yet, because I liked the old... I really loved the first one, and then the second and third one did kind of weird things, but they were still... Like, 2 was good in its own way.
Fable-y.
And yeah, they were still Fable-y. But now it's like totally different team. And I'm like... and it just, like, the trailer really...
Maybe it's
didn't really say Fable to me.
I saw it and I'm like,
it looks
this could be like
interesting, and then like the Fable logo pops up and I was like, that is not what I expected. So it's like, I don't know, like it could be great. I have no idea. This is something I thought about as well, and then I decided to go with the Halo Infinite instead as my Microsoft.
I double dipped.
Yeah.
I also double dipped on Microsoft.
Fine enough. Yeah.
Sorry, Sony. I just didn't care.
Sony's not there.
Right. I mean, I said Final Fantasy 16, so that's the closest you get is a timed exclusive.
Before we move on to the final ones, how many of everybody's predictions were like taken by somebody else? Because I only lost one of them.
I actually had a couple. Because let's see, you said Final Fantasy 16, and Kevin said Halo Infinite. So I guess I had 2 predictions that were taken by somebody else. So there's small crossover here, but not a lot. Right. And then you both said Breath of the Wild 2 is going to get a trailer.
Yes.
So, yeah, a little bit of crossover in there.
I said it would not.
Yeah, and there Chris is. The only guy that didn't cross over with anybody's predictions because he made them all up on the spot.
Yeah, but he said... Chris, didn't you say at the beginning that we, like, erased a couple of yours at the start?
So I had been thinking hard about at least the first prediction I would make, and then you guys stumbled all over it by with all the we're talking about Zelda, and I was like, yeah, you know what? There's gonna be no Zelda predictions. That was my prediction.
Counter prediction. Gotta love it.
Nice.
All
right. Shall we get into the Crazy Go Nuts predictions and consult the magical D4? All right, so we're going to go top to bottom as far as our YouTube stream goes in numbers. So Kevin is number 1, I'm number 2, Crow's number 3, and Chris is number 4, because that's how our stream appears. 4. Chris, what is your Crazy Go Nuts prediction?
My Crazy Go Nuts prediction? Picture this. Gabe Newell of Valve Games comes out on stage. A projector lights up behind him. It says 1, and then it counts up to 2, and then it counts up to 3, and then it zooms out. Half-Life 2 Episode 3 confirmed.
I would love that.
That's it. That's the entire prediction.
That's amazing. I would adore that.
Or, I mean, really, if I wanted an outside bet, it would be Valve producing a game that was the third sequel. That was the second sequel, so the third game in the series of fucking anything. But
or like walks out, it counts up 1, counts up to 2, counts like halfway up to 3, just enough that you can tell it's 3, and then drops back down to 2 and zooms out to Half-Life Alyx 2.
I was gonna say Team Fortress Alyx.
Team Fortress Alyx 2.
How hard of a troll would it be if it was literally just Team Fortress 3?
I think at this point Valve is so deep that they can never release anything that has a 3 in the title, because Gabe Newell released an announcer pack for Dota 2 where triple kill is more than 2 kills but less than 4 kills.
3
that's what he says in the fucking announcement.
The number 3 does not exist at Valve. There's a company rule against it.
Yeah. So that is my outside absolutely wild bonkers prediction, is that they're going to announce a game that ends in 3.
I dig it.
All right.
Okay.
So we got there. All right, so got my D6
Almighty
now.
guy.
I'm going to change up to a D6 here because I don't have my D3. My D3 is in my bedroom, and I don't want to go get it. So 1 and 2 is Kevin. 3 and 4 is me. 5 and 6 is going to be Crow.
Gotcha.
3. All right, so my Crazy Go Nuts prediction. is that...
Me too, Kevin.
We are gonna get a new custom Robo game. Or a remake of the GameCube game. Because that would be the most fucking hype thing that could possibly happen. Because custom Robo is fucking great. And I want to play through it again. And I keep not playing through it again on my GameCube. Here, hold on. As long as... I don't know why we keep holding up game cases on this episode. But it's...
That's me. I got a whole box.
Yeah.
And they're all like a bunch of them behind me.
Hold on. It's in here somewhere. I'll get to it.
And then my car.
I was about to say, I like the Makar plush.
I love this guy.
There's a custom Robo.
Look at that price.
So.
Yeah.
Fucking, holy smokes, 13 Game Crazy. How about that?
Yeah, 1169 MVP. I don't remember.
Were
if
you
I was
an MVP?
That sounds like.
Wow, look at you.
I bought enough games there that I probably should have been. I don't remember if I was. There hasn't been a Game Crazy. They closed down a long ass time ago, so yeah.
Yeah, they're long gone. I love Game Crazy. I bought all my Genesis games there.
Yeah. This is Game Crazy was where I got my copy of Zelda, which Master Quest, because I didn't pre-order Wind Waker. I got the Master Quest disc though. Later came up used there, and it's like $15 or something, $20. Yeah, I don't remember. It was like
Kmart
cheap.
Special.
Yeah, and I was like, oh man, this is gonna be awesome. Because when I found out it was missing, I was like, oh, I could probably buy another one. It wasn't that expensive, and then I looked them up, and now they're like fucking $200. I'm like, what?
Yeah, they're very expensive now.
A lot of these GameCube games are. Yeah, my fucking Wind Waker.
The GameCube players grew up. That's the thing. So now they have money to spend.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Well,
shame.
I don't know. I'm a GameCube player, and I grew up, but I don't have money. So how's that work?
Well. You don't have non-beer money, you should say.
But you have
That's
the
true.
GameCube.
I spend all my money on beer. I do have a working GameCube, which is,
so do I.
Is something. I was going to start streaming GameCube games on my Wii. I bought like a little adapter that plugs in the back of my Wii that I can plug it into an HDMI port. And I was like, oh, okay, then I can stream Wii games and GameCube games on my Wii. And then I put something into my... I don't remember what I put into my Wii. But like it made this like horrible grinding sound, and I was like, oh my god, what's going on? And I like it stopped, and it sounded like it was okay, and I loaded in whatever, I think it was Fire Emblem. I loaded in and I got in the game, and it crashed right on the loading screen, and then it wouldn't load the game ever anymore, and then I pushed the eject button and it wouldn't eject. And I was like, oh my god, is my $300 fucking Fire Emblem game stuck in my Wii? Oh my shit. And I was like freaking out. And I turned it off, I turned it on, and I like unplugged it, and I eventually got it out. And I was like, okay, I am not putting another fucking game in this Wii until I like figure out if I can get fixed or something. I was like, that was like one of the most horrifying experiences of my gaming life.
That's like, petrifying.
Yeah.
It's wild that the console is just so much cheaper now than the games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You might as well just buy another Wii.
Right?
I have my GameCube is like on my entertainment stand right next to my Switch. I have the Game Boy Advance like game player attached to the bottom.
Yeah, the Game Boy player is awesome. My Retron does all of it for me now too.
Mm-hmm.
I totally don't emulate my Game Boy games on my PC. Why would I do that?
Good for you.
I'd never do that.
No, you use your smartphone, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. Well, final two. Let's get. I was gonna get a coin, but my
You're too poor for that.
Here we go. Hold on.
Roll a
I am too poor for that. So I have here a Good Times wooden nickel, which is good for one kid's soft serve, or not soft serve. They actually have frozen custard at Good Times, which is awesome. Yeah, you guys are like, people always brag about fucking In-N-Out. I'm like, no, come to Colorado, man. We got fucking Good Times. They're the best.
One of us is Mr. Good Times. The other one's Soft Boy.
Who's who?
Yeah, who's who, Sean?
Can I be Good Times? Because I'm allergic to dairy.
I mean, I like the Good Times. We got green chili cheese fries here.
Yeah, fucking wild fries and dipping sauce.
The fuck kind of place doesn't have green chili cheese fries?
And you can't help but love a bacon cheeseburger called the Big Daddy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
It.
All right, so...
Honestly, the only thing Good Times manages to fuck up is chicken.
All right, so the side that says Good Times is Kevin. Apparently, he's the good time. And the side with the frozen custard cone is Crow.
It looks like a dick, and I've been a dick for half the stream.
All right, it is Good Times.
Give me that
Good times. Let the good times roll.
All right.
All right, my long shot here is that level 5 will somehow show up and relaunch their announcement for Dark Cloud 3.
I've never even heard of that.
Hey man, if that happened, I would be incredibly fucking hyped.
Yeah, I'd be so happy. Dark Cloud was like a PS2 launch game. Actually, talk about what are you playing? We played that for like maybe like an hour or maybe like 30-40 minutes before just before the show too. Like the boys and I were playing it a bit. I love Dark Cloud.
I remember seeing Dark Cloud on the shelves at Game Crazy a lot, but I never actually played it.
So I bought Dark Cloud 2 there.
Nice.
At Game Crazy, but my PS2 didn't. It sucked. I had the big old PS2.
Yeah.
It was a clunker. I got it from a friend for free.
I remember
the only game that it could play was Dark Cloud 1. So I played Dark Cloud 1, and then I bought Mega Man X7, I think. And it didn't play it, and I was like, oh, it doesn't work. I'm gonna return it. And then I bought Dark Cloud 2 because I was like, holy smokes, there's a Dark Cloud 2. I love this game, and I bought it. Didn't work on the PS2, so I bought another PS2. I saved all my money, bought another PS2 to play Dark Cloud 2. And I like 1 more than 2. But there's a video floating around of a Dark Cloud 3 announcement for PlayStation 3. And for a hot, like, internet minute, I had, like, the most views for an article written about Dark Cloud 3. And it's just like, are they going to do anything about Dark Cloud 3 this year? And that's all it was. So it was like a do-nothing article. I really want Dark Cloud 3 to happen. And that video announcement was from, like, 2006. So maybe 15 years later, we'll get our Dark Cloud 3 in there.
Right. Coming to PS3 this June.
Yeah, to PS3.
Yeah.
We'll see it there. I don't even own a PS3.
That's why they reversed course on shutting it down. They're like, oh man, Dark Cloud 3 is coming. We gotta keep it up.
Yeah, I think the problem with it is that Level 5 is a pretty smaller studio, and they got a lot of success with Ni no Kuni instead. So who knows? Maybe Dark Cloud 3 will be a thing. I still want to play Rogue Legacy. It's a game like that, but...
To be fair, Cyberpunk took 9 years to develop. It was announced when 360 was still a thing, and they were still kind of a bit of an enigma because Witcher 3 hadn't happened yet.
That's
and
true,
then look what happened there. So, never say never. Goonies never say die.
That's why it's my long shot here, Dark Cloud 3.
All right. Well, Crow, do you want to give our last crazy go nuts prediction?
Are you sure you don't want to roll a D1 or something just to make sure that I don't get shut up entirely?
Here,
No, I'm good. We're going. Okay, final prediction. Looping back to my first one because I had kind of teased it.
I dropped my Link plushie.
Cool, good enough. I'm a Link fan. I'm going to take that as it's my turn.
Right.
Breath of the Wild 2. I'm going to say we're going to get a date. I'm going to say it's going to happen spring of 2022. I'm going to say that it's going to happen the first half of March because it is the anniversary of Breath of the Wild 1. I'm going to say it is going to happen either, because it could be either one depending on, the issues because of shit happening, either March 4th or March 11th. And we are not going to get a console for it because Nintendo fucking hates Zelda. That's my little brownie point thing. The prediction is the dates.
Okay, so if it happens to land on either of those specific dates, then you will get your points. So, I think that's a good prediction for the window, at least. For the specific dates, I trust you because of your past predictions. That's a good possible dates, but I don't think we're getting a release date at E3.
Probably not. That's why that was my long shot.
Yeah. I think we might get like a 2022 window Maybe as far as a spring 2022 window.
Only reason I say that we're getting a date is because we got a date for Legends Arceus. They didn't have to give us one.
True.
They could have just given us dates for the remakes and saved Arceus for its own direct.
Right.
They decided to throw us a bone anyway, so...
I feel like with those two specifically, they're both Pokemon, and they're coming... or that one was coming out, like, right the same... They announced at the same time as the Diamond and Pearl dates.
Yeah, it feels like a
remakes.
deal.
Yeah, it's like they're coming out not that far apart. They might as well announce them both right at the same time. If Arceus was like a spring game or a summer game, if it was getting pushed back that much, then I think they would have done that. All right, well, I guess that does it. And there's
Where are you at on time?
2 hours 56 minutes according to the audio version.
Smokes.
So close to 3 hours.
Yeah.
How many times have you had a podcast go over 3 hours?
I think 4 or
Kevin,
5.
when was the last time you were on the show?
Pretty consistently when we have multiple guests, I want to say.
Yeah, somehow it's like our 90-minute projected runtime kind of throws itself out the window when we have a certain amount of people talking just to get every opinion in there, and the conversation flows and meanders and stuff, which is half the reason I do the podcast, is to have wacky-ass conversations. So it's like, I don't stop it. Yeah.
Every guest adds about 45 minutes.
I was just going to say, I feel like I do talk for about 45 or 50 minutes on this show.
It's more fun that way.
Yeah. And I get to show off cool things like Castlevania cartridges or talk about Zelda.
Here's a last minute, probably not announcement. let's see Penitent one for Smash.
Yes. In.
I'd fucking dig it. Or Aku.
Oh, be really funny.
Samurai Jack in Smash.
Not even Samurai Jack. You get Aku.
Just Aku.
No. Give me the Scotsman. I want the Scotsman.
I would be so hyped for the Scotsman. He fits Smash Bros. Energy so well. That'd be great.
It's your machine gun leg over there. So do we want to plug ourselves?
Yeah, I guess that'll move us to our final segment of the podcast where we plug ourselves, and then we'll move to the final. I guess that's not the final segment, is it? That's the second to last segment, so I have to drink.
It's the final segment. It's not the final.
Right, so anyways,
Ultimate.
Of course, thank you, our lovely, wonderful guests, for joining us once again. Mr. Shabazzle himself is at the top of the window because that's how Discord arranged us. So I'll let him go first.
Great. Yeah, I've been streaming on Twitch kind of regularly. That's been fun. Usually on Wednesdays we play D&D. Sometimes on the weekends we'll do some like Zelda mods and I don't know, whatever just happens. But I am a Twitch affiliate, twitch.tv/Shabazzle. I don't know. I am Shabazzle on Twitter. Sometimes I post cool pictures and reply to people's tweets on there too. So that's me.
Stuff.
All right.
He likes my stuff because we're friends, and I appreciate him.
I do. I retweet. I'm good for that.
Yeah.
I'm good for one.
And Crow, our other special guest of the week.
Yeah, special surprise guest that nobody's ever met before, and I totally haven't been on probably more than anybody else.
Probably more than anybody else. Except for, me.
Chris. Yeah, you and Chris. But you two are the hosts, so you don't. I did the count. Anyway.
I've been on every episode.
I also stream. I do streams on Wednesdays, but I don't do D&D. I do other things, like a Nuzlocke that is going horribly right now. I have like 6 Pokemon left.
I tuned in for a second and like your Bayleaf died or something.
Yeah, you tuned in at the worst time. I was an emotionally broken man. That was my favorite.
Yeah, I didn't even know what you were streaming, but you were just like, no, not my Bayleaf. What do I gotta do?
Baby.
I have to grind for hours.
I did. I ground that thing for hours. All for naught. Yeah, I stream on Wednesdays and then on weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Do a variety of things. I am also a Twitch affiliate and just recently set up my points things. You can redeem points for such, and I am working currently on a new Discord that should be live at some point. So keep an eye on my Twitter. Both things are just Crowbird Cannon. Hello there.
Crow says hi.
It's E3 hats.
It's E3 hats. I have 3 hats.
Oh my god.
Because
Yeah.
E3.
You're such an idiot.
I love you too.
When you said that it was E3 because of the hats, I immediately was like, wait, I need to go run in the other room and grab my 3 copies of Ocarina of Time.
That's why those are there. Okay. Okay.
3.
You know, these all make
3
sense.
ways to play.
Yeah.
I would have come up with something clever if I had put 2 and 2 together, but I did not.
See, when you put 2 and 2 together, you get 4.
E3
Yeah,
doesn't
E3.
like going with 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, well, thus
E3
far,
is 2 and 1 together.
yeah, well,
That's how math.
That's why it's 2
Apparently-
GameCube, 1 64.
Yeah, well, clearly I didn't put it together, so as far as I'm concerned, 2 and 2 was 3. Anyway, you can find me at twitch.tv/CrowbirdCannon or, twitter.com/CrowbirdCannon, where I do stuff. And I'm cool. And my mom thinks I'm funny, so that's good enough, right?
Yes, it is.
Probably. All right. And of course, I am your host, Spamoman, and this is my co-host, Chris. He forgot to give himself a weird middle name this week, Audette.
I mean, I actually just wasn't introduced. We just kind of started the podcast.
I said
introduced the
co-host
guests
and
not-
or guests.
No, you said crow host, and then we went on a tangent about how we were laughing because I replaced him, and then we moved on.
See, so it's Crow's fault.
Okay.
Chris replaced by Crow, Audette.
The crow must go on.
Thank
Hi,
you. Thank you.
I'm Chris Audette. You can find my writings on DriveThruRPG and itch.io, and you can, under the brand name 5 Cataclysms, you can also find my co-author's writings there. His stuff costs money, but it is really good. You should pick it up. You should also pick my stuff up too, because that stuff you can pay whatever you want, including the low price of absolutely free. So yeah, check us out. Also, I am going to go deal with a crying dog. Hold on, or go on without me.
All right. I guess we'll have to go on without
must go
Chris.
on.
Yeah.
The crow must go on.
The crow must go on.
Don't crow over spilled milk.
I mean, I guess that's sound advice. That is not wrong.
And now we move to the real final segment of the podcast where we talk about inane bullshit until somebody says something really awkward and I cut it off.
This is your Nintendo one more thing, even though it is every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's close enough.
One of these days, they're just not going to do a one more thing and the internet is just going to go fucking like berserk.
Mm-hmm. They're just going to
It's
stop
kind
it.
of become like the norm now with certain things too, where it's like you watch the movie and then you sit there for the extra 15 minutes or 20 minutes and it's like, wait, there might be
And
a
then
have
thing
a
where
post-credit
Captain
scene.
America takes his shirt off at the end.
Right.
Like, you gotta sit and watch it.
Marvel has us trained.
Post
Yeah.
credit scene where it's just Captain Planet and Spider-Man 69.
I keep expecting like Deadpool to just show up at the end of like a non-Marvel movie and just be like, "Hey guys, I'm sneaking in and plugging Deadpool 3," just like out of nowhere in like a romantic comedy or some bullshit that has nothing to do with it. Doesn't that just seem like the just like
That'd be a very Deadpool marketing.
It is-
I
It's
feel
tried
like
to play it
Ryan
shot
Reynolds
for
would
years.
totally fucking go for that too.
Oh yeah.
You do it at the end of Sonic 2. I think that
Yes.
would be fun.
I would be up for that.
Sonic 2, where they introduced Tails.
They already did.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh.
because he was in a post-credit scene. You'd know that if you.
With Deadpool.
I mean, it was a mid-credit scene.
Like
It wasn't a
Captain
post-credit
Planet.
scene.
It
Those
was
credits. Those credits are really good, by the way. Like, those are the most entertaining credits I've ever watched for the Sonic
Yeah, they were
movie.
fun. It was like the Sonic animated style, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was like the sprite work and shit.
it was a tribute to past Sonic games.
Yeah. I think the boys have easily watched that movie like over 24 times.
I went to go
they'll
see.
ask Daily, be like, "Can we watch the Sonic movie?" And it's like, oh.
Direct.
No, we've watched it too much already.
I went to go see it in theaters twice. Once by myself, once with my roommates, and I was actually lined up to go a third time with my friends, but then COVID hit.
Yeah.
Like, all right, guess I'll just go fuck myself in the, back corner of my room.